Fall break has come and gone, and the Grayson County Cougars hit the road to Ohio County for a rivalry matchup. It's the 35th all-time matchup between the Cougars and the Eagles. Grayson County coming in off of 2 straight wins, looking for a 3-game district winning streak, and it's this simple for the Cougs. They win, and they're in when it comes to playoff. And a good evening and welcome here to Frank Barnes Stadium on the campus of Ohio County High School for tonight's contest between the Grayson County Cougars and the Ohio County Eagles. Sam Gormley and the former Cougar quarterback Kaylor Decker with you. And Kaylor, I know that Grayson County, Ohio County, when you're listing the rivalries, might be behind Edmondson and behind Butler, but it's up there. And depending on the class, it's a huge one.
And it depends, and especially if the skill gap is very small between the two teams sometimes, and that makes it a lot more rivalry. And it's always a rivalry. I don't care what people say.
You mentioned that, and I think this is the 35th all-time matchup. Ohio County leads 18-16, and that shows that it's a rivalry when it's close. Cougars picked up 2 straight wins after losing 4 in a row. They beat Breckenridge County 36-0 in their last game. They're looking for their first 3-game district winning streak since 2014. Cougars are also looking to beat the Eagles 3 straight times for the first time since winning 5 straight between 1989 and 1993. As we mentioned, it's this simple. Grayson County wins tonight, Kaylor. You're in the playoffs. You control your own destiny, and that's huge for a team.
It is, and it kind of makes the team feel a little better about themselves, where you don't have to worry about what the other scores are or the tiebreakers in that situation. It's your fate to decide, and you have to do your job.
Ohio County 2-5. They're 1-2 in district play, but they're coming in off of a win last week against Marion County over fall break, 38-20. Home standing has not necessarily been that kind to Ohio County. They've lost 5 straight at home and 14 of their last 15 here at Frank Barnes Stadium. The Eagles, though, do have a new head coach, Terry Moeller. Moeller previously served as head coach in Illinois. In fact, he won a state championship there back in 1979. Ohio County would not clinch a playoff spot with a win tonight, but they put themselves in really good position to get there, where I guess if you want to talk in baseball terms, their magic number would pretty much be 1, needing a lot of different things to happen that the Eagles would pretty much put themselves in the playoffs with a win here tonight. Coming up on our locker room show, we're going to introduce you to both teams, talk to the head coach of the Cougars, Brian Jones, and give you tonight's keys to victories. This is Cougar football right here on K105.
Oh, that stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
I was wondering if you guys wanted me. OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
Oh!
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it.
You are smart kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
Every 3 minutes, a baby is born with a cleft, making it difficult to talk, hear, eat, and even breathe. Many won't receive the treatment they need to thrive. Through training and financial support, Smile Train gives the power of healing back to local communities so they can provide life-changing surgeries and other services at no cost to families. Help us change the world one smile at a time.
Floodwaters in eastern Kentucky have destroyed homes and businesses, displaced families, devastated communities, and claimed the lives of our fellow Kentuckians. Radio and television stations across the Commonwealth have united as one voice to help our fellow Kentuckians in need. Please consider supporting the Team Eastern Kentucky Flood Relief Fund today. Simply go to kba.org and click the Donate Now button. This message of hope is provided by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
Connection. It's the name of the game in Grayson County schools. Connection with students, with colleagues, with community, through relationships, through partnerships, through small daily acts, through high-impact programs at all levels. Connections that teach, that encourage, that build confidence, that show together we can, preparing students for life, equipped with real and real-world skills for success. Together, we are GC Connected.
Cougar football on K105.
Ohio County enters tonight's game with a record of 2-5 as we welcome you back to the locker room show here on K105. Sam Gormley and Kaylor Decker with you. Their starting quarterback tonight is going to be Hayden Phelps, 3 of 10 passing, 63 yards, 1 touchdown and an interception. But they're going to throw multiple players back there that could attempt passes. Jake Simmons, he started last week at quarterback on the season, 8 of 16, 114 yards and a touchdown. Matthew Smith, remember that name, we'll talk about that in a second. 3 of 9, 97 yards, a touchdown and an interception. But when you think of Ohio County, you're not thinking of passing the ball. You're thinking of running the ball. This Ohio County team, and it's not a perfect example, but it kind of reminds me of the Grayson County team back in 2019, the year before you were the starting quarterback, where you had a quarterback in Logan Kopp who could throw the ball, but he wasn't yourself. He wasn't Hunter Felty, where he was a throw-first guy. The Cougars were going to say, we're going to run the ball, and we're going to say for you to stop it. And that's what this Ohio County team is all about.
And Logan was a great athlete. Now you put a great athlete as a running back, you have to defend 11 people in the run instead of almost just 10.
And that's exactly what Ohio County's going to run for, but especially when you've got a guy like Matthew Smith back there, who is a really good running back. 123 carries, 704 yards, 6 touchdowns. He's averaging 5.7 yards a rush, 5th in Class 5A in rushing yards per game. He's going to get his.
Yep.
Jalen Walker, he's the slot receiver, running back. And again, not as far as player, they're different, but as far as how they will be used, kind of how Grayson County uses Jaron Van Meter. You'll put him in the slot, you'll put him as a running back, and it's kind of one of those things that Ohio County's philosophy is Walker and Smith are our 2 best athletes. Let's find a way to get them the ball.
And it's a smart way to do it. I mean, you look at teams in the NFL, Deebo Samuel, that's how they get him the ball, get him in space, and just let them do them.
Jalen Walker, 24 carries, 258 yards, and 3 touchdowns. As a receiver, he has caught 14 of their 20 passes, 260 yards, and 3 touchdowns. In fact, to get even more specific, Walker has accounted for 73% of their receiving yards, 70% of their receptions, and 75% of their receiving touchdowns. They're going to just find a way to get him the football. Offensively for Ohio County, though, has been a struggle at times this year. 16.7 points per game. They've been held to under 17 points in 5 of their losses and have scored 35 and 38 in their wins. In a lot of ways, though, you can say, well, that sounds very familiar. Teams that don't score a lot don't usually win, but when they score over 35, they win. Who's that kind of sound like this year?
Us.
Exactly. It sounds like Grayson County. Defensively, allowing an average of 38 points a game, the Cougars have really scored the ball against Ohio County over the last 4 with a lot of success. As Eagles are allowing 37.5 points against Grayson County over the last 4. Pass defense 126.9, 174.4 on the ground. Noah Phelps is the leading tackler. Phelps also leads the team with a pair of interceptions. He returned one of those for touchdowns. One of the things, an X factor to keep in mind here tonight is Ohio County's got a good kicker. Brett Hoskins, 2 of 4 on field goals, 13 of 13 on PATs, similar to Jackson Kane. He's a soccer player that comes over and kicks, and it's a weapon to have, similar to Grayson County with Jackson Kane, because the Eagles are not afraid to go to Brett Hoskins when the time comes.
And it's a good thing to have, guaranteed, not guaranteed, but a pretty safe 3 points instead of just leaving a possession empty.
Grayson County has a record of 3-4. We'll introduce you to them coming up next, as this is Cougar Football right here on K105.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
Hi, I'm Janine Lucas with Wilson Muir Bank. Our focus is on building communities, and in many of our markets, agriculture is at heart of those communities. We are proud to partner with local farmers and value your role in Kentucky and globally. Our commitment runs deep because we understand your passion for farming. Many of us are farmers ourselves. Whether farming is your pastime or your livelihood, invite us to your operation or stop by our offices and let us know how Wilson Muir Bank can help you grow. Together we build community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 403246.
Hi, can I help you?
I just wanted to say thank you. Bye.
Can I help you?
Yeah, just wanted to say thanks.
For what?
For all the money that's been flying out of your drafty windows and doors this winter. It's just so generous of you. So, we wanted to say thanks.
We?
Yeah, the whole neighborhood's here.
Stop throwing your money out the window. Visit us at Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
We know windows and doors.
The builder's choice.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how's sketches? Ready? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes, look at that. You didn't turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, Backpack Kid?
Let's do it.
See.
Cougar football on K105.
Welcome back here to Frank Barnes Stadium on the campus of Ohio County High School as the Grayson County Cougars are preparing to take on the Eagles of Ohio County. The Cougars have that record of 3-4, 2-1 in Class 5A. Kaylor, as we were talking, it's simple. Grayson County wins tonight, they're in the playoffs. Yep. And you're looking at, and I love this time of year where I get to go and we get to scoreboard watch a little bit, because this year you don't have to play Owensboro in the first round. Well, I mean, you might have to play Bowling Green or South Warren, but you know what? We can talk about that when it comes. So right now, the game that we'll be kind of watching tonight is Bowling Green-Greenwood. Because if Greenwood beats Bowling Green, it gets very, very interesting down there. But really the game next week, because presuming if all things go as that game's at Bowling Green, more than likely Greenwood, we will lose that game, which will then make next week's game between Greenwood and South Warren that Grayson County will travel to the winner of next week. So it'll be that simple. Now, again, weird things can happen. We can do math. We can do everything, but a lot can change between here and then. Hunter Felty, the Cougars starting quarterback on the season, 63 of 105, 718 yards, 7 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Kaylor, it's been his legs recently that have played really well over his last 2 games, averaging 6.8 yards per rush. He had 3 touchdowns against Breckinridge County. What's been different, though, as a whole, is the rush offense, 270 yards per game over the last 2.
They're trying to find better ways to get the athletes the ball, and they've tried and figured out, like, hey, Hunter's extremely good on the run, and whenever you kind of get that defense stacking the box a little bit, it opens up passing lanes behind it. And even whenever you do bring a lot of people in the box, those second-level players, if there's a crease to get in with the running game, there's no second line of defense, so they kind of just have to make one man miss and they're gone.
And I think another key, and Brian Jones, you'll hear about this. Here's your tease for what the interview is going to be talking about is, I think, to play a Waylon Bruce. I think he's played really well as that fullback over the past couple of weeks in laying down those hits when he needs to. Receivers, Grayson Chaffins, Van Meter will go out there as well as receiver. Apparently, though, as our announcer says, apparently Jaron's dad is lining up today, according to him. Jeremy apparently is lining up at wide receiver. Jeremy's probably over there somewhere. I'm not sure. Has he got the pads on ready?
I didn't see him get on the bus, so.
Well, maybe. You never know. Maybe Jeremy's sneaking in there and he's going to take a couple of hits as well. But Jaron Van Meter instead will be playing. No, it's not the first time Jaron has been called some other name. Vern, right? Was it in baseball or something?
Something like that.
Vernon or something was. It's one of the names that he's gotten called. As an offense, 20.7 points per game. And their 4 road games, 8.5 points per game, with only 34 total points that the Cougars have scored in their 4 road games. Again, read into that what you want. They've played good teams. You know, Barron County on the road. You've played Graves County on the road. You've played Butler County and McLean. Those are 4 solid teams.
Yes.
But still, you want to see that number grow. Defensively, though, as they always say, Kaylor, defense travels. And the defense is starting to travel for Grayson County, 20.6 points per game. That ranks 15th in Class 5A. But the downside is on that defense, Colby Chafin's out for the season, and that's huge for this Cougar defense.
It is. And he was one of those heat-seeking missiles as a middle linebacker that would he knew where the ball was going to go almost, and he wasn't afraid to put his body on the line. And that's huge. I mean, he was a leader on the field. He was not afraid to make a play, and you saw it whenever he was on the field. It was a different defense from what it was without him.
Another player on the defense that I think has played really well and, is only just tied for the lead in the state in Class 5A in interceptions. It's Mr. Grayson Chaffins with 4 interceptions. And the even better thing, as we keep mentioning, he's just having his dad shell out money left and right. And I'm sure that his dad would be happy. What do we think, like $150 tonight from Grayson?
Let's go for 2.
Two picks from Grayson Chaffins. There we go. You heard it first from us up here in the booth. Jackson Kane, kicker. Another guy similar to on the other end, Brett Hoskins, a guy that can easily make something happen should it need it. Brian Jones, head coach of the Cougars. Talk to him, get his thoughts on the matchup after this. This is Cougar football on K105.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is vaping? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes, look at that. You didn't turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, Backpack Kid?
Let's do it.
First, invite your kid to do the vape talk. Let's try this. All right.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I gotta get it trending, honey.
Come on.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
I see a lot of your friends vaping.
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Floodwaters in eastern Kentucky have destroyed homes and businesses, displaced families, devastated communities, and claimed the lives of our fellow Kentuckians. Radio and television stations across the Commonwealth have united as one voice to help our fellow Kentuckians in need. Please consider supporting the Team Eastern Kentucky Flood Relief Fund today. Simply go to kba.org and click the Donate Now button. This message of hope is provided by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
Cougar football on K105.
Welcome back to the Locker Room Show here on K105. Sam Borley now joined by the head coach of the Grayson County Cougars, head coach Brian Jones. Coach, fall break last week. How did your team spend it, and have you seen a difference in a more well-rested team?
Yeah, I think several guys went on vacations. We had some guys go out of the country, which I think is great for these kids to have experiences like that. Got some time away. And I did. We got back together. I think everybody was excited to kind of be back together as a group. That's something about a football team. There's nothing like a football locker room and the time that they spend together. So it was. I think it was re-energizing. We got some guys back healthy. Look for Kentucky or Tanner Finley to be back in the lineup. Some other guys were able to rest up some bumps and bruises, and so. Very excited to get some of these guys back and get back on the field.
One of the big topics in football since we talked last surrounded actually, I know, our two NFL teams. First, go Bengals, right? Beating the Dolphins. But in that game, there was actually a really serious moment and a really scary moment that is, as a football coach, the worst nightmare out of potentially anything could happen with a really severe concussion happening to Tua. I know you have a great medical staff with Dr. Miller and Scott who are there a lot for your team. But do you as a coach have discussions with your players about if you feel something or you think about it to go get checked out?
Absolutely. We try to encourage our guys that anytime that they feel something that feels abnormal to them, that nobody's in their body, they only know what feels normal and what is something's just not quite right, whether it be a head issue or arms, legs, anything. To speak with Scott, and we like for that to kind of be our initial starting point, and then he does a great job of not only communicating with Dr. Miller, but getting our guys in to see him if necessary, or get to other places depending on what it may be. And so, I will say this: I've never been at another location that has had that kind of tight-knit group that works so well together. And just that chain of the protocol that we have in place, I'd say second to none for what we have here.
Now, one of the pieces of bad news that you did get over break was that Colby Chaffins is going to be out for the season, and he really turned into, at least in my opinion, kind of that X factor on your defense when he came back. How do you replicate that?
I think it's got to be, next guy up. Dalton Russell has played some in Colby's absence earlier in the year, so, he'll hop back in the starting lineup. And then we've worked on some other things to try to compensate for the loss of Colby, because I don't think we'll replace him, but we need Dalton to step up. And then we've got a few other things in place that, if need be, for us to try in this game to try to slow down the run game.
Through the first 5 games of the season, speaking of run games, your run game averaged just about 65 yards per game on the ground. Last 270. Obviously, opponents have something to do in that being such a bigger number, but what has been different in the run game?
I think we kind of went back to trying to focus on some basics and really emphasizing winning at the line of scrimmage. We've done a really good job, I feel like, with Coach Decker and myself and some others on going back to some technique, going back to some drills that we did early in the year that we'd kind of gotten away from, and really just tried to hang our hat on we've got to be able to run the ball. And so I think the kids have really responded well to that. And then I think Jaron feeling more comfortable in the backfield, more time back there, seeing holes, different things like that. And the progress of Waylon Bruce. I've said it before. I think every time he steps on the field, he gets a little bit better. He's, kind of fish out of water the last few years. He's been a lineman. Now he's in the backfield, and it's different. And so every time he gets back there and is able to run the ball, he's getting a better feel for the game, a better vision, and things like that. And he's really had a good job the last few weeks running our inside zone, and just all the way around. I think Hunter's feeling more comfortable. Jaren's getting more comfortable, and so we're just continuing to try to build on those guys week by week, adding a little bit here and there to it. But we really condensed things back down because we felt like maybe we had too much in and we're doing too many things and not real good at any of them. And so we've really focused on the inside zone, and that's been good for us, and we'll continue to do that, but also trying to put the kids in position to be successful at what they're good at.
Matthew Smith, the running back for Ohio County, is a really talented player. I know you, after the game against Breck, compared him. It's not a perfect comparison to the Butler County running back. Is there anything you can take from that Butler County game in using and trying to slow him down and cap him up?
Yeah, I think, we've got to tackle low. He's a strong kid, runs hard. Can't tackle him up high. He'll run through arm tackles, those kind of things, and getting a lot of hats to the ball. There's not a whole lot of guys that are going to take him one-on-one and win successfully a lot. So those things we've talked about and, tried to work at this week and done our best job to try to replicate that in practice. And hopefully we can keep him kind of pinned up and minimize the big runs that they have kind of hung their hat off, because they'll do a lot of run into him, lull you to sleep, and then they'll hand back off on the slot reverse to number 6, and he's the one that really sometimes hits the big home run too.
Your team, it's simple. Win and you're in the playoffs here tonight. How do you move the ball against this team and pick up the win?
Well, I think, hopefully tendencies that we've tried to pick up on film hold true tonight. If so, I think our game plan's pretty good. But get Waylon and Jaren going in the run game. That will get Hunter a little bit more comfortable and then pass it when we need to. And this was a big game for him last year, and hopefully we can hit on that again.
Coach, good luck. We'll have more here coming up in the locker room show after this.
Connection. It's the name of the game in Grayson County Schools. Connection with students, with colleagues, with community, through relationships, through partnerships, through small daily acts, through high-impact programs at all levels. Connections that teach, that encourage, that build confidence, that show together we can, preparing students for life, equipped with real and real-world skills for success. Together, we are GC Connected.
Hi, I'm Janine Lucas with Wilson Muir Bank. Our focus is on building communities, and in many of our markets, agriculture is at heart of those communities. We are proud to partner with local farmers and value your role in Kentucky and globally. Our commitment runs deep because we understand your passion for farming. Many of us are farmers ourselves. Whether farming is your pastime or your livelihood, invite us to your operation or stop by our offices and let us know how Wilson Muir Bank can help you grow. Together we build community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 403246.
Floodwaters in eastern Kentucky have destroyed homes and businesses, displaced families, devastated communities, and claimed the lives of our fellow Kentuckians. Radio and television stations across the Commonwealth have united as one voice to help our fellow Kentuckians in need. Please consider supporting the Team Eastern Kentucky Flood Relief Fund today. Simply go to kba.org and click the Donate Now button. This message of hope is provided by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
Oh, that stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
I was wondering if you guys wanted me. OMG, it's McGruff!
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
Oh! I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it.
You are smart, kids. You're smart.
Cougar football on K105.
Welcome back here to Frank Barnes Stadium, where the Grayson County Cougars are preparing to take on the Ohio County Eagles, and it's now time for Kaler's Keys to the Game.
Yep, starting on offense, you got to keep the momentum from the last two games that you did have. I mean, the offense was firing on all cylinders, especially on the run game. Waylon looked good throwing blocks. Hunter looked good on the ground. Jaren, whenever he got the ball, looked really good. The pass game looked great. And the key is long drives. Keep long, sustained, methodical drives, too. you want to keep that offense on the field because those two athletes that they do have on the other side are great athletes, and they can create big plays, which leads actually to my defensive keys is contain those athletes. Do your best. They're going to get their yards. Well, everybody knows that. But if you can kind of mitigate how many touches they get and kind of force them to go away from it, that helps your chances to win. And limit the big plays. Big plays create a spark, and that leads to big plays happening over and over. And on the confidence issue on the defensive side, and there's going to create more big plays for you on the contrary because it's just bad for you. And big plays are bad for a defense, especially whenever they just keep hitting chunk play after chunk play after chunk play, and then they'll nickel and dime you, hit you back again over the top.
Those are Kaler's keys to the game. Grayson County and Ohio County. If the Cougs win, they're in the playoffs. That comes up next right here on K105.
Hi, I'm Janine Lucas with Wilson Muir Bank. Our focus is on building communities, and in many of our markets, agriculture is at heart of those communities. We are proud to partner with local farmers and value your role in Kentucky and globally. Our commitment runs deep because we understand your passion for farming. Many of us are farmers ourselves. Whether farming is your pastime or your livelihood, invite us to your operation or stop by our offices and let us know how Wilson Muir Bank can help you grow. Together we build community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 403246.
Hi, can I help you?
I just wanted to say thank you. Bye.
Can I help you?
Yeah, just wanted to say thanks.
For what?
For all the money that's been flying out of your drafty windows and doors this winter. It's just so generous of you. So, we wanted to say thanks.
We?
Yeah, the whole neighborhood's here.
Stop throwing your money out the window. Visit us at Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
We know windows and doors.
The builder's choice.
Floodwaters in eastern Kentucky have destroyed homes and businesses, displaced families, devastated communities, and claimed the lives of our fellow Kentuckians. Radio and television stations across the Commonwealth have united as one voice to help our fellow Kentuckians in need. Please consider
It's time for football in Hartford between the Grayson County Cougars and the Ohio County Eagles. Sam Gormley and Kaler Decker with you tonight on a chilly night for football in October, and the opening kickoff by Brett Hoskins for the Eagles heads into the end zone, and Grayson County is going to start with the ball as Mason Carroll just watched that one go by. Hunter Felty going to lead the Cougars out on offense to start here in tonight's game on the season. 63 of 105 for 718 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's rushed for 271 and 4 touchdowns. Of the last 2 games, though, having a lot more success with the legs, averaging 6.8 yards per rush. As it is a perfect football weather, as they like to describe it, 64 degrees. It was windy earlier today, but the wind has died down right now as Grayson County is going to start with a ball placed on their far hash. Your first down and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Shifting in motion from the near side to the far side is Mason Carroll. It's a pitch out to the far side to Van Meter. He turns back here towards the near side. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like maybe a loss of about a half a yard on the play. The Grayson County starting offense. Offensive line back in there at the center position is going to be the center Tanner Finley, also known as Kentucky. Sawyer Drake, Matthew Phillips, Michael Sturdivant, and Will Scott will join Tanner Finley on the line. Your wide receivers, Jaden Kinney, Mason Carroll, Grayson Chaffins. Your backfield of the quarterback, Hunter Felty, and running backs, Jaron Van Meter and Waylon Bruce. It'll be Felty in the shotgun formation. Van Meter lines up to his left, faking the handoff to him. Felty's going to carry it up the middle. He's got space to work as he carries it up across the 25-yard line, up to about the 27 on the run, a gain of about 7 yards on the run for Hunter Felty, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
That's a smart play call. Get all the attention going to that one guy that's been kind of torching defenses over the past couple weeks and just sneak it back through the back door.
3rd down and about 2 coming up for Grayson County. 10 minutes, 53 seconds left here in the first quarter. Cougars trying to convert on third down early on in this game. We're going to see the I formation as Waylon Bruce will be the fullback, Jaron Van Meter the deep back. A wide receiver goes on each side of the senior quarterback, Hunter Felty, staying at about 5'8". Underneath of the center, Tanner Finley. It's going to be a give up the middle to Bruce. He's got the first down, carrying it up across the 30-yard line. And he gets up near the 34, give him a run of about 7 yards and a first down, Cougars. Grayson County coached by Brian Jones. He's in his third season, 12-14, 24-64 in his ninth season overall. He was previously the head coach at Todd County Central. Officially, that ball is going to get up to the 35-yard line. It's 8 yards on the run by Waylon Bruce. And Kaylor, we talked about this in the open, but Waylon Bruce has been playing his best football as a Grayson County Cougar, and I don't think that that's no secret as to why the offense is having a lot more success.
And it is, especially on the ground game.
In the gun goes Felty. Mason Carroll shifts from the near side to the far side. He goes into the slot. It's a handoff up the middle on the give to Van Meter. He spins at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be brought down by a host of Ohio County players. In there on the tackle first looks like Noah Phelps. And Van Meter is going to get a pickup of about 2 yards up to the 37-yard line. That'll bring up second down and 8 for the Cougars. Jaron Van Meter, the leading rusher, 67 carries, 360 yards, 6 touchdowns. Waylon Bruce, 16 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown. He had a career high in both rushes and yards last game against Breckinridge County. Team is averaging 270 yards per game over the last 2. Through the previous 5 to that point, it was only 65 yards a game. Second down and 8 coming up for Grayson County in the shotgun formation. Will go Hunter Felty. Jaron Van Meter on the sweep to the right side. Van Meter tries to find space, and he's got it. Dives forward up across the 40-yard line. Gets up to about the 42 as he just did kind of a stutter step and took it right up the middle, finding the hole.
And that's just good patient running, waiting for those blocks to develop, and then not trying to hit the hole too fast or too late, because eventually he knew there was going to be a hole there.
To pick up a 5 yards on the run for Jaron Van Meter. That is going to bring up third down and 3 for Grayson. 8 minutes, 50 seconds left here in the first quarter. No score between Grayson County and Ohio County. Cougars a long, methodical first drive here. Third down and short. Very similar to the last third down that they had that they converted on the run to Bruce. This time it's a sweep to the near side of Van Meter. He's got space across the 45-yard line, crosses the 50 and gets down to the 45 as he was met as he crossed the 45-yard line on the play by Reese Wittes, the linebacker for the Ohio County Eagles. And more importantly, that's a first down for Grayson County.
And keep that clock chewing and just keep it going, keep their offense off the field so they can't have any big plays.
Give them about 14 yards on the run. It'll be first down and 10 for Grayson from the Ohio County 46-yard line. Spreading it out, 2 wide receivers on each side. This time Van Meter will be the near side slot receiver. Man shifts in motion. Mason Carroll from the far side to the near side. We have a whistle blown. Looks like some movement called against it's a timeout called against Grayson County, called by Brian Jones. And we're going to keep it here. And we want to make sure that we start off tonight's broadcast is we want to be sure that we mention that one of our favorite Cougars, if you've noticed Grayson County, if you followed them at all, you might have realized that this year has just felt a little bit off because we have not seen Mr. Spirit at any games this year. For those who have been unaware, he's been battling cancer. And last week, he signified the completion of his chemo and radiation treatment at the Brown Cancer Center in Louisville. He's fighting like a true champ, and I know he's locked in listening right now, and we want to be sure that we give him a huge shout-out, telling him that we're pulling for him. Kaylor, I know you played. There's nobody like Mr. Spirit, and as a player, I mean, he's special. We love him, and we can't wait to see him here very soon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's a guaranteed fan whenever nobody else is there, and it's just great to have somebody like that on your side.
We're rallying around you, Mr. Spirit, and we hope to see you very soon. He has a follow-up appointment at the end of the month. Hopefully everything will look good, and we'll be able to see him back on the sidelines very soon. Of course, if you're watching on K105 Digital Productions, you saw the picture. Of course, when he was in his treatment, he was wearing his Cougar orange and blue the entire time. And more importantly, he's turning 86 years young on Tuesday. So happy early birthday to Mr. Spirit from all of us here, the K105 Sports crew. Mason Carroll shifts in motion. Felty will roll out towards the far side out of the timeout, makes a man miss, and we'll just dump it off. It is complete and space to work, but moving up for maybe a pickup of about 1 or 2 yards on the dump off there for Hunter Felty. as he found space on the far side.
And that's just a good job of getting the ball out. I mean, that play could have been about a 5 to 7 yard loss, and that's just a good job of getting the ball out and getting it to a receiver for about 2 yards.
Mason Carroll picks up 2. You'll be looking at second down and a long 8 here coming up for Grayson. 7:36 left here in the first quarter. No score between the Cougars and the Eagles of Ohio County. In the I formation, we'll go Felty under center. Bruce the fullback, Van Meter is the deep back. 2 wide receivers to the right side from the far hash. It's handoff Van Meter, space to work across the 40-yard line. A shoestring tackle near the first down marker by Jalen Walker. And it looks like it's going to be enough to move the chains. It's going to be very close, and actually now the second effort looks like he's about a half a yard short. Head official's going to run over to look. And he does say third down. It'll be third down and inches coming up for Grayson. Cougars 2 of 2 on third downs on this drive already.
And there's Waylon again getting in the middle. I mean, that's ISO. He has to come and take that play side linebacker head on. He did a good job, and Jaron was able to get 8 to 9 yards off of it.
Third down and short for Grayson County. Felty goes under center. Cougars looking for another first down on this drive. It's given to Bruce on the give, and he needed 1, and that's exactly what he got. He didn't get any more as he got down to the 35-yard line. That's enough for a first down. Cougars moving the ball even more, as this next play will be play number 10 on the drive, and it'll come from the Ohio County 35-yard line. Love that opening drive here for Grayson.
Yes.
This is Cougar ball.
Yep, keep that clock ticking.
Grayson County, the last time they played Ohio County here, dominated the lineups, dominated the time of possession. I think it was something like they had the ball 24 of the last 27 minutes. And when you do that, you're going to win a lot of games. Yeah. Offset I formation. Mason Carroll shifts in motion from the near side to the far side. Cougars working from right to left on your radio dial. Handoff Van Meter up the middle. Burst of speed at the 30-yard line. And he's dropped down at about the 28 by the Ohio County linebacking core. 6 minutes left here in the first quarter. No score between Grayson County and Ohio County, as officially that ball gets to the 29-yard line, 6 yards on the run by Van Meter.
And up front is looking great right now. Jaron's not getting touched until he's into the second level, and if they can keep this up, he should be averaging 5 to 6 yards a pop.
Grayson County offensively has played much better over the last 2 weeks. Ohio County on defense has struggled stopping the run at times, 174.4 yards per game. They give up 38.0 points per game. Cougars have really had a lot of success offensively against Ohio County in the last 4, averaging nearly 38 points per game over those 4. Handoff Van Meter, misdirection handoff near side. He stutter steps, makes a man miss, coming down here to the near side to the 25 to the 20. And that's where he's going to be brought down from behind by Jalen Walker for Ohio County. Not before he picks up the first down on the 9-yard pickup, and Grayson County's moving the ball as they're just on the outskirts of the red zone. About really the 20.5-yard line, maybe even the nose of it is entering the red zone.
Yep. And, I mean, that was a good run, Jaron, but it was really good blocking up front, too. I mean, that play's kind of designed to go a little tighter than that, but it was the good patience by Jaron that allowed him to string it out and good perimeter blocking.
15 of 19 is Grayson County on red zone attempts this season, as they are tied with Ohio County here. 4 minutes and 53 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Van Meter lines up under, Felty lines up under center. Van Meter is the deep back, and it's a give. Actually, it's kept by Felty across the right side. He's a blocker in front of him, runs right behind him, carries it down across the 15-yard line, down near the 13. As Hunter Felty ended up keeping that himself, and in there on the tackle for Ohio County was Jacob Rees, the senior linebacker, but not before Felty picks up about 7.
That's a good read by Hunter. I mean, saw the number 3 technique come down, take the fullback. He pulled it himself and got inside and got 5 to 7. Actually, it looks about 7 yards.
7 yards officially. It'll be second down and 3. Play number 13 of this drive that started all the way back at the Grayson County 20-yard line. 4:05 left here in the first quarter. I formation again. Mason Carroll shifts from the near side to the far side. He's done that about 5 times on this drive. Handoff Van Meter, bounces it outside at the 5, and that's where he's going to be driven backwards. That's immediately at that 5-yard line, but we move into the goal-to-go situation on the 8-yard pickup by Jaron Van Meter, and the Cougars are knocking on the door of getting an early lead.
Yep, and anytime you're taking, looks like more than 8 minutes off the clock right now on an opening drive, that pushes statements to your O-line and your running game.
3 minutes, 40 seconds left here in the first quarter. Cougars looking to take the early lead in this game. Hunter Felty goes under center. Tegan Piggott joins Waylon Bruce's blockers for Van Meter, the deep back. It'll be a handoff. Van Meter. He breaks back here towards the near side where he's met at the line of scrimmage by Noah Phelps from Ohio County. And I think his forward progress maybe got him back to the line of scrimmage. If not, it'll be about a loss of about a half a yard.
I think they're giving him the line of scrimmage. I think he's still at the 5.
It is a no gain on the play. And, I mean, you're milking almost this entire first quarter. This is approaching the 9-minute mark of this drive. And this will be play number 15 for Grayson County. Same formation with Piggott and Bruce as fullbacks. And they'll give it to Van Meter. Van Meter across the right side, dives towards the goal line, and he's stopped about a half a yard short. Inside the half-yard line for Jaron Van Meter, 4 yards. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and goal from the half-yard line for Grayson. How about this drive? Grayson County has not had any negative plays in the drive. They just continue to move the ball forward.
And that's about as good as it gets when it comes to Cougar ball. I mean, run the ball. I don't think we've put the ball in the air once. Actually, I think we did once.
The little dump-off pass to Mason Carroll.
The 2-yard completion, but other than that, it's been all-ground game.
It'll be 3rd down and goal from the half-inch yard line. Felty under center as the starting quarterback for Grayson County. Play number 16 of the drive is a handoff. Van Meter dives forward, right side, touchdown Cougars. Jaron Van Meter carries it in from 1 yard out, and a 16-play drive ends in points for Grayson.
That's a 10-minute drive, and that's about as perfect as you can get.
I'm not sure Brian Jones could have drawn it up much better. I mean, if you're going to take 10 minutes, that's the way you want it to do. It'll be Jackson Kane on to attempt the extra point for Grayson County. 11 of 15 this year on PATs in his career, 27 of 32. The right-footed kicker. Jaron Van Meter, the holder, Will Scott, the snapper. Trying to put the Cougs up 7-0. Not a great snap. Kane's able to get it long enough, and he put it through. 1:59 left here in the first quarter. It's Grayson 7, Ohio 0. This is Cougar football on K105.
Oh, stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
I wondered if you guys want any. OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake. And so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it all.
You are smart, kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
Every 3 minutes, a baby is born with a cleft, making it difficult to talk, hear, eat, and even breathe. Many won't receive the treatment they need to thrive. Through training and financial support, Smile Train gives the power of healing back to local communities so they can provide life-changing surgeries and other services at no cost to families.
Grayson County turns a 16-play, 10-minute drive that goes 80 yards into points. They lead Ohio County 7-0 with 1 minute and 59 seconds left here in the first quarter of play. And Kaler, I mean, that was beautiful.
Yep. I mean, one of my keys was long drives, and
I think that 16 plays, I think, can count as a long drive.
Yeah, I didn't know if they had 10 minutes like that in them, but
Jackson Kane kicks it away, and it's an end-over-end kick that it is going to roll, and it's going to be picked up on the bounce inside the 5-yard line, trying to find space to work and being dropped back at about the 10. Carson Powers, the freshman, was trying to make something happen, but he had absolutely nowhere to go as Jackson Kane put that one out perfectly. And the Ohio County offense is going to trot out Hayden Phelps, is listed as a starting quarterback tonight. 3 of 10 passing, 63 yards, 1 touchdown and an interception. But it's Matthew Smith and Jalen Walker, the 2 players you'll need to know. Smith, 704 yards on the ground. Jalen Walker, about 500 all-purpose yards. They're going to use both of them in a lot of different ways. They're just going to find ways to get their athletes the ball. Officially, the ball is going to be placed at the 11-yard line of Ohio County. They trail 7-0 against Grayson County. Phelps under center. And he is going to hand it off, and the ball comes out at the end, and it looks like Grayson County does fall down on it. Waiting for the signal, it is. Will Scott falls down on the fumble, and Grayson County will get the football in the red zone after coughing the fumble up on the first play for Ohio County.
And It's about the perfect start you can get. I mean, that was a good job by Jaron and Will, both staying home on the reverse.
1 minute, 49 seconds left here in the first quarter of play. Grayson looking to add some more points to the board as they'll have it on the Ohio County 12-yard line. Or, sorry, the 15-yard line.
And personally right here, if you're in a sudden change situation this close, take your shot. Do it quick. Don't give the defense time to settle in. Just take your shot now and make them to pay for it.
It'll be Felty in the shotgun formation. Waylon Bruce lines up to the right side. You've got Van Meter in the slot, along with Grayson Chaffins down here to the near side. Grayson County will pass. They're going to dump the screen off. High catch by Bruce. He's inside the 5. He's inside the end zone. Touchdown. Cougars on the screen. Waylon Bruce, 15-yard catch and run, and Grayson leads 13-0.
I mean, that was perfectly play called. I mean, the blitz came, and that screen is meant to be a blitz killer.
Waylon Bruce catches and runs in the touchdown. His second touchdown on the season. His 10th pass completion, and the Cougars are rolling early on here tonight in Hartford.
Kane on to grab the corner after kick.
Kane 1 of 1 tonight, trying to make it 2 of 2. Cougars' first drive lasted 10 minutes and 1 second. That drive lasted 9 seconds. And the kick, no good.
Yeah, that was low.
Low and no good. Was it blocked? I was looking down at my notes. It was blocked. But still, Grayson County leads this against Ohio County 13-0. PAT was no good by Jackson Kane. And Kaler, I mean, you're looking at this, that I'm sure if you said Brian Jones, hey, you have 2 drives with 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the first quarter and you're up 13-0, he'd say, great. You know, we had 2 drives, probably lasting each about 6 minutes. That's not what happened, though.
No. And you had a 10-minute drive and a 9-second drive.
9-second drive. But you know what? Both ended in 6. Well, one ended in 7 points, one ended in 6 points. And it really doesn't matter how long the drive ends, as long as it ends up in the end zone.
That's all that matters.
Waylon Bruce has the catch and run from 15 yards out as Grayson leads 13-0 with 1 minute and 40 seconds left here in our opening quarter from Frank Barnes Stadium. Kind of a light crowd tonight, but as we were talking, Ohio County, this is their fall break this week, so that probably does have at least some impact into why it is kind of a lighter crowd. It's a little chilly, but it's nice. I know up here in the press box, it's a little warm up here.
Yeah, but down there in I call it the bowl, it's a little windier, and it's a little colder down there.
Yeah, right up here, I mean, it's like a little sauna in here. I mean, we walked in here about 5 o'clock, and it was toasty. We had to open up the windows and everything. Jackson Kane to kick away for Grayson. His last one, it's almost like he pinned it inside the 5-yard line. I'm sure if you ask Jackson, that's exactly what he was trying to do.
Exactly. That's confidence.
Line drive kick, takes a bounce, and it's caught on the bounce at the 11-yard line by Powers. He comes up across the 20 up to the 25-yard line where he's hit by mud. And that is the run to about the 26-yard line, and that's where Ohio County is going to start their second drive. First drive could not have gone worse for the Eagles, but the second drive hopefully will change. You get a little bit better field position as well to the 26.
If you're an Eagle right now, 2 words matter right now. It's ball security. Just hold on to that thing.
Going to go under center. We'll go the Eagles here to start their second drive in the I formation. Quarterback Phelps under center. He'll hand it off to Matthew Smith on the dive across the left side. He's wrapped up from behind, but again, he just keeps the legs moving. He's going to end up getting a couple of extra yards just based on sheer will. Dalton Russell had him wrapped up, but Matthew Smith just carried him with him, gets a gain of 5 yards to the 31. He was hit pretty much at the line of scrimmage.
And he just kept those legs moving. And if you're on the defensive side of the ball and you see that, strip the ball, try to punch it out, because the more they're going, the more tired they get, and that ball tends to get more exposed as time goes on.
2nd down and 5 for Ohio County, ball placed on their own 31-yard line. Matthew Smith, the deep back, in the I formation behind the quarterback Phelps. It's a pitch on the reverse, slot reverse by Jalen Walker. He tries to find the edge. He's hit from behind. Maybe he's going to get about 1 yard. He's coming in from behind to make the play on it. Slow to get up afterwards. Was it Felty that made the contact from behind? It was. Felty a little slow to get up, but I don't think it was anything to worry about, and Walker only gets about 2 yards. I know we talked, I can't remember, Kayla, if it was you or if it was Coach Jones in the open that said you got to watch out because they will run that little slot reverse with Walker.
Yeah, I did, and they'll do almost anything to get him the ball.
3rd down and 3 coming up for Ohio County. They need to get the ball to about the 36. Weird formation for the Eagles, and they'll give it on the give to the fullback left side. Nothing there. Cougar defense immediately drives backwards. Felty was in there along with Mudd as it was a handoff to Rees, and that's the end of the first quarter. It's all Cougars early on, 13-0. This is Cougar football on K105.
Hi, I'm Janine Lucas with Wilson Muir Bank. Our focus is on building communities, and in many of our markets, agriculture is at heart of those communities. We are proud to partner with local farmers and value your role in Kentucky and globally. Our commitment runs deep because we understand your passion for farming. Many of us are farmers ourselves. Whether farming is your pastime or your livelihood, invite us to your operation or stop by our offices and let us know how Wilson Muir Bank can help you grow. Together we build community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 403246.
Oh, that stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
I was wondering if you guys wanted me. OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake. And so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it all.
You are smart kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
We start quarter number 2. Ohio County will have it 4th down and short, and it appears that they're going to keep the offense out on the field with the ball placed their own 33-yard line. It'll be 4th down and about 2 or 3 for the Eagles. They now work from right to left on your radio dial, and they shift and jump. False start on the right side of the line, and that might change things for this Ohio County offense, as they're now going to bring the punt team out as Grayson County leads 13-0. Sam Gormley and Kaylor Decker with you, and Kaylor, that works.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of those things. You have to make sure as a quarterback you make sure everybody's on the same page, especially with the snap count, and because that's costing you 5 yards and a chance at another first down.
And I'm sure Terry Moeller, the head coach of Ohio County, that's the last thing you want, especially coming out of a break. To punt is Hoskins away, and it's a booming kick by Hoskins. Spinning kick. Van Meter's going to catch it over his shoulder at the 30-yard line, and that's where he's brought down by one of the gunners on the far side. What a play made by Jalen Walker as he came down to tackle Van Meter back at the 30-yard line. That was a 42-yard punt from Brett Hoskins, and that flips field.
Kind of looked like he threw the thing the way. That was a perfect spiral.
It
was perfect.
That's what you see from NFL guys.
Yeah,
that was a beautiful punt, and Grayson County's going to run out with 11:52 left here in the first half. They lead 13-0. Ohio County has had no answer for the Cougars offensively early on in this contest. This ball will officially be placed on the Grayson County 26-yard line. Felty will go in the shotgun formation. Jaron Van Meter lines up to his left. Cougars working from left to right. Felty will fake the handoff to Van Meter, carries it across the left side, picks up about 1 before being hit by the Ohio County defensive line. Is in there on the tackle first was Noah Phelps, the junior, and maybe no gain.
Yeah, maybe 2 feet at most.
I was going to say that might be the quarterback in you talking there, giving him a little bit extra.
I'm a little biased.
No, and I respect that. 2 minutes in, as we have 11:20 left here in the first half. Grayson leads 13-0. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Cougars from their own 26-yard line. Felty in the gun. Bruce will be the running back behind him. It's a low snap. Handoff to Bruce on the give. Left side. Bruce carries the pile forward for a pickup of about 2 yards. And that's just showing the strength of Waylon Bruce. It was similar to that run by Matthew Smith a few minutes ago where Bruce probably should have had no gain, but he turned it into something.
Yeah, that's just something when people tackle guys like that high, they just carry them for another 2 to 3 yards.
3rd down and 8. This is the longest 3rd down opportunity for Grayson. They converted 3 or 4 third downs on their first drive of the game that took 16 plays and ended in 6 points. 3rd down and 8 for Grayson. They need to get the ball up to the 36-yard line. They're going to spread it out. 2 wide receivers down here to the near side, 2 to the left side as well. Ohio County showing blitz, and we're going to have movement on the line for Grayson County. As Reese, the linebacker, showed blitz.
And then
Smart play, and it causes the offensive line to jump.
As long as you're not in the neutral zone, it's completely legal.
Back to the 23, and that's now going to turn in from 3rd down and 8 now to 3rd down and 13. What are you calling here as an offensive play caller?
Well, I mean, the screens worked, and I don't know if you want to do it up the middle again or you can go to the outside with the tunnel screens to Grayson that have been successful sometimes. Either one of those can work, or you can take your 4 vertical shots because they are playing cover 3, so those seam shots will be open.
Jalen Walker is the deep safety.
2 seconds.
And Grayson County looks like they are going to have to take a timeout here as the clock ticks down, and that is a timeout taken by Grayson County. 9:54 left here in the first half of play. Grayson County leads 13-0. We do want to invite you to join us on Monday and Tuesday of this coming week, as we're excited for the first time to be broadcasting the 12th District Volleyball Tournament for you. We'll have all 3 games for you coming up on Monday and Tuesday, as Game 1 will be the Whitesville Trinity Lady Raiders taking on the Lady Bears of Butler County at 5:30. And then Game 2 will be Grayson County taking on Edmondson County. That'll be the nightcap at 7:30 on Monday. And then we will also have the championship game on Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Kaylor, do you know anybody on the volleyball team?
Yeah.
You got one connection, right? Mm-hmm. Your little sister plays, and I'm sure you'll be there cheering her on, hopefully to pick up a big win against Edmondson County. I mean, listen, and like we were talking on our Cougar Sports Report this morning, anytime Grayson County, Edmondson County get on the court, on the field, in the pool, if they start doing that, or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what the talent gap is. It's for some reason it's close. It doesn't matter. It's just everybody plays a little harder because you know who it's against, and it's just one of those things that you feel like you need to win.
So we invite you to join us for that. A couple score updates to bring you. Owensboro on top 14-0 against Graves County. 10:42 left in the first half of that game. Greene County all over Edmondson County, 22-0, 3:16 left in the first quarter. And Warren East and Allen County Scottsville all tied up at 12. Bowling Green leads Greenwood 14-0. Out of the timeout, Felty to pass on 3rd down and long. They're setting up that little tunnel bubble screen, and it doesn't work much at all. Maybe a pickup of 2 yards on the far side. Looks like it was completed to Grayson Chaffins, and there just wasn't much for Chaffins to do there as he was hit immediately when he caught it. They're going to give him 3 yards, and it'll be 4th down, and the Cougars will be forced to punt. And you better watch out. Jalen Walker is an elite athlete back there.
And you're almost better kicking this to a point where it's hard for him to field it. So kind of angle it away from him or just kick it out of bounds entirely. I mean,
Jackson Kane to punt. And it's a spinning kick, and it's a good one as it's going to make Walker catch it on the back pedal. He breaks a tackle in the backfield, tries to make something happen. He's outside the numbers across the 40, across the 45, up across the 50. And Kaylor right there just showed how good of an athlete Jalen Walker is as he carries that. And it looks like right at about the 49-yard line of Grayson County on the return. Give him about 16 yards, and that's where the Ohio County offense is going to trot back out there.
For the Ohio County, 1st down and 10.
9:06 left here in the first half. Grayson leads 13-0.
He just turned a return that was probably should have been dead to rights and got 16 yards out of it.
Be 1st down and 10 for Ohio County rather. They're going the I formation under center. Walker shifts in motion. They'll pitch it off to Smith across the near side. Big block across the near side. Smith scaries it up. Maybe a pickup of about 2 yards on the run.
It's a good play by Dalton.
Dalton Russell, the senior, comes in to make the tackle on the play. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 8 for Ohio County. I mean, we mentioned Matthew Smith, great athlete, 5.7 yards a rush, 5th in Class 5A in rushing yards per game. Jalen Walker, we've already seen him have a couple of runs. We just mentioned him, too, on the punt return. He has over 500 all-purpose yards. They'll find a way to get him the ball. Same with Matthew Smith. Under center. Goes the quarterback, Phelps. It's a handoff, Smith. Right side, Waylon Bruce wraps him up. Jackson Kane comes in there to help clean it up. As Hayden Phelps was the quarterback handing it off, and no gain. Really nice play by Waylon Bruce to come in there, and actually looks like they might be well, maybe I'm going to say no gain. Maybe a gain of 1. They'll bring up 3rd down and about 7 coming up here for Ohio County, presumably 4-down territory for the Eagles as they trail 13-0 in this contest. They're going to send Walker And Ross to the right side. One wide receiver down here to the near side. That's R.J. Williams. Under center will go Phelps. He is Smith, and it's a pitch to Smith across the right side. And finding space to work is Smith. He is across the 40-yard line. He's got the first down and a few yards more. Now move the chains for the first time.
Yeah, they just got that outside, and the outside force player didn't force everything back inside. They created a short edge, and Matthew was able to just get around it and use that athleticism to his advantage.
9 yards on the run for Matthew Smith. It'll be first down and 10 for the Eagles. 7:33 left here in the first half of play. Grayson County on top 13-0. Under center will go Phelps. They'll add a fullback. Reese in the backfield behind Phelps, and right behind him is Matthew Smith. It's kept reverse to Walker on the far side, and Grayson County wasn't really fooled, but Walker still on his feet. He breaks a tackle, continues moving across the first down marker, moves down across the 20-yard line down to the 18, and he was dropped for a really no gain, and he just added about 10 extra yards. Just continuing to make the legs move.
That's just bad tackling. I mean, that's just not finishing the play. You get there, think the guy's down, you kind of let up, and you can't really do that until you hear the whistle, 'cause especially with athletes like that.
He got 15 extra yards after being hit. It's down to the 18-yard line. Ohio County is now into the red zone. And after getting good field position on the return, the Eagles are knocking on the door of probably potentially adding points. Handoff Smith on the give. He has big hole across the left side. Breaks a tackle there inside the 10-yard line and down to about the 5 on the run for Matthew Smith. And Ohio County is gashing the Grayson County defense for a pickup of 14 yards.
And another Ohio County first down. First and goal, Eagles.
The defense is just, the tackling has not been good on this drive at all, Kaler.
And you're starting to see what a couple big plays can do.
6:15 left here in the first quarter, because Ohio County scores here. It's a ball game.
Yep.
After Grayson County dominated the first quarter, as much as one could dominate a first quarter. I formation. Well, actually, you've got 3 backs behind. Now they're going to shift off. Handoff Smith on the dive up the middle, continues to move the legs, and he's down at about the about half-yard line. For Matthew Smith on the run, gets about 3 yards, really 3.5, and he's down at the half-inch yard line. 13-0. Grayson County leads Ohio County, but the Eagles are knocking on the door.
That's about as close as you can get without scoring from where I'm standing.
It is really close. I mean, he is the nose of the football away. And even looking closer in the binoculars, Kaler, I mean, it is if he'd have decided not to cut his toenails, he might have gotten in the end zone. Phelps under center. Got to imagine that it's going to be on the give to Smith. It's exactly where they go. Smith goes in, up the middle, touchdown Ohio County from 1 yard out, and the Eagles are on the board. And it is 13-6 with 5:05 left here in the first half. On the 1 yard run by Smith. .505 left here in the first half. Brett Hoskins on to attempt the extra point. 13 of 13 this season. Trying to make it 14 of 14 here. Good snap, good hold, kicks long enough, and he put it through. 5:05 left here in the first half of play. It is Grayson County 13, Ohio County 7. This is Cougar football on K105.
Floodwaters in eastern Kentucky have destroyed homes and businesses, displaced families, devastated communities, and claimed the lives of our fellow Kentuckians. Radio and television stations across the Commonwealth have united as one voice to help our fellow Kentuckians in need. Please consider supporting the Team Eastern Kentucky Flood Relief Fund today. Simply go to kba.org and click the Donate Now button. This message of hope is provided by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, can I help you?
I just wanted to say thank you. Bye.
Can I help you?
Yeah, just wanted to say thanks.
For what?
For all the money that's been flying out of your drafty windows and doors this winter. It's just so generous of you. So, we wanted to say thanks.
We?
Yeah, the whole neighborhood's here.
Thank you
Stop throwing your money out the window. Visit us at Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
We know windows and doors.
The builder's choice.
Grayson County leads 13-7 with 5:05 left here in the third quarter. Ohio County has the drive to answer. It's exactly what they needed. 7 plays, going 49 yards to make it a ball game. And the defense there, Kaler, not good at all for Grayson County. And Brett Hoskins to kick away. He had a touchback the last time, and he's going to have a touchback this time as well. Grayson County's offense is going to trot back out with the ball placed on their own 20-yard line. Last time they had it in this situation, they only just turned in a 16-play, 10-minute drive that ended in a touchdown.
Yeah, well, the thing is now you don't have 10 minutes. You have 5.
5:05 left here in this first half of play. But the offense for Grayson County, you know, your first 2 drives, I mean, were really good. I mean, the 16-play drive, and then you score on 1 play. The last drive, though, was the penalty that hurt on the false start that made things a lot more challenging.
Yeah, 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 8 are a huge difference.
It'll bring up 1st down and 10 for Grayson, ball placed on their own 20-yard line. They've had success running the ball when they've wanted to, especially on that first drive. We'll go the I formation for the senior quarterback, Felty. Bruce is the fullback. Lined up behind him is Van Meter. They hand off Van Meter, left side. Van Meter dives across that left side. He went right behind Matthew Phillips, the guard, and he's brought down by Reese on the play. It's a pickup of about 3 yards on the run for the junior running back, Jaron Van Meter.
From the 22.
2nd down and 8 will come up for Grayson County's Jaron Van Meter. 4 minutes and 36 seconds left here in the first half. Grayson County leads 13-7. Felty communicating with his fullback, Waylon Bruce, in the backfield. We're also looking at the head coach, Brian Jones, who delivers the play call. Under center goes Felty. Handoff Van Meter, tries to get space across the left side, but he's met. He's coming in there to make contact with Brinley Poston, the senior. And looks like that'll be maybe no gain on the play, depending on where they spot it.
There's definitely not a gain, I can tell you that much.
If anything, it might be a loss of maybe about a half a yard. And this drive not looking just as good on here for Grayson. 3 minutes, 48 seconds left here in the first half. It is Grayson 13, Ohio County 7. This is an interesting play call here for Brian Jones.
Yeah. Whenever they've been in doubles, you're kind of getting a 3-deep look. So I do like 4 verticals in this situation. You can also run a curl arrow concept.
Felty to pass, 3-step drop, and he's just going to have to down it. Throws it away. Bruce was in the area.
Oh, roughing the passer.
They are going to call roughing the passer.
That seems to be an ongoing thing. I mean, NFL, high school.
The penalty flag did come out. We're going to talk it over.
Oh, there might be grounding.
I think Waylon Bruce was in the area.
He was, but I don't know if the ref knows that. I mean, it's
the Cougars are moving backwards, which makes me think that it is intentional grounding.
It shouldn't be.
They are going to call intentional grounding called against Grayson County, and that's just not the right call, Kaler.
No.
As Waylon Bruce was set up for a screen.
Yeah.
But hey, that happens, and the Cougars are going to move backwards. That's going to turn out to be a penalty of 16 yards back now to the 6-yard line, and that makes this kick now for Jackson Kane a little bit more challenging because he's back in his own end zone to kick it away. And it gives Jalen Walkers. It's not a good snap at all. Kane's able to get it away. Jalen Walker's going to call a fair catch at the 36-yard line, and the Eagles are going to have really good field position here to try and add some points to their to the 6-point deficit that they now have.
And I mean, that was a good job by Jackson in the back of the end zone because that thing hopped on him, and if that thing rolls out of the back of the end zone, that's 2 points in the ball for them.
3:19 left here in the first half, and what started off really good for Grayson, now you're in the dangerous situation of losing all of that momentum that you had. Under center goes Phelps. Matthew Smith is the deep back. Jalen Walker moves in motion, and it's going to be pitched to Walker. He has a blocker in front of him is Smith. Walker's got space across the 30-yard line. That's where he's tripped up. Nice downhill tackle.
Flags.
There are flags on the play, and it's called against Ohio County. Holding is called against the Eagles, and that's going to move this ball backwards. And flags galore down there, Kaler.
Yeah, I mean, they're all in the same spot, too, so, I mean, it's most likely the same penalty.
You had 2 penalty flags thrown, and it must have been egregious.
Yeah.
And that'll work. Spot foul is going to move that ball back 10 yards, and it's now going to turn into first down and 20 from the 45-yard line, and that is a huge help for Grayson County because, I mean,
the defense needs it.
The defense, I mean, listen, take all the help you can when things are not going necessarily well. Under center, we'll go Phelps. And it's to pass. Phelps rolls out to the far side, dumps it off, and he overthrows Jalen Walker. Walker was coming on the outside run, and they just threw it too tall for him.
Yeah, got a lucky break on that one. He was open.
He's not a guy you want to leave open, especially in the flat, off into that far side of the field.
And the thing is, if he catches that in the stride, he's going to have time to put his foot in the ground and get upfield after the catch, too.
We mentioned that Jalen Walker is far and away their favorite target as a receiver. Walker, 73% of their receiving yards, 70% of their receptions, and 75% of their receiving touchdowns. They do this weird formation where they set Walker up as one of the receivers, but they have him line up sideways. To pass, they dump it off. It is complete to Reese, and he's immediately shoved out of bounds at the 39-yard line.
I mean, you're okay with that. It's 3rd and 15. And, I mean,
makes it 6 yards. You're looking at 3rd down and 14 here coming up.
They've not really been able to show that they can throw the ball. Now, they can run the ball, but they're not hitting on those chunk runs very often.
Phelps is now 4 of 12 passing on the season for about 70 yards. He's not necessarily a threat to pass, but that doesn't mean he can't pass.
He can, but it's just you're not betting on it.
3rd and 14 from the Grayson County 39-yard line. Phelps, he's just running backwards. He's trying to set up a screen, but he has Will Scott in his face, and trying to make something happen is diving up across the 40-yard line. He's going to end up picking up a couple of yards. Jackson Kane was back there as well for Grayson, just chasing. Those are a couple big men chasing after you, and it'll depend on the official spot as he kind of ran up across the sideline, and it's to the 37. You're going to give him 2 yards, and with 1:49 left, Brian Jones is going to take a timeout because, you're 4th down and 12. You got to imagine that the Eagles are going to be punting this. You're in no man's land, but especially with 1:49 left, you don't want to give Grayson any better field position. Brett Hoskins, though, he's got a leg. I mean, heck, the bunt that he left go, he could probably kick it to the Ohio County Fieldhouse down to the left side.
He could, but the thing is, you don't know if he's able to control that and kind of coffin corner it like NFL punters can.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
different. Like, it's one thing to kick it far, but it's another thing to kind of take something off of it.
And that last punt that he had was 42 yards. If he kicks this one 42 yards, we better watch out to the people that are standing over on the hill on the far side because they might get pelted. If he punts it through the uprights, does that count as 3 points?
No. There actually is a rule, though, where if you fair catch a punt, you can put your place kicker, and they can try to kick it to the field goal. Kick it to the uprights for points.
Now that you're saying this, that is one of those kind of weird rules in football. Will be Brett Hoskins to punt. He stands back at his own 48-yard line. Jaron Van Meter is down at about his own 12. Brett Hoskins, it's a low snap. Grayson County setting up the offense, and Hoskins just boots this one. It's a coffin corner attempt, and it goes out of bounds. It's all going to depend on the spot officially. Looks like they're going to say the 20-yard line. And that'll give Grayson County 1:43 to go 80 yards.
And this is where we've looked good all year. So
now, Kaler, what is in the mindset of Hunter Felty in this situation?
Well, don't turn the ball over. That's your main priority right now, but take what the defense is giving you.
Grayson County leads 13-6, 1:43 left here in the first half. Ohio County does get the ball to start half number 2.
And that's huge. I mean, I think that plays in the Coach Jones' decision to take that timeout, too. try and maybe go up 2 possessions.
Cougars do not have any timeouts, I don't believe, remaining. They do, according to the scoreboard, they have 0 timeouts remaining. Ohio County does have all 3, so you want to be careful because Eagles very well could get the ball back. Felty to pass, steps up, pump fakes, tries to bounce it outside, rolls here towards the near side, keeps his eyes up. Now he's still on his feet, runs away from another man. Now he's just going to let it fly out of bounds, and that pass almost was intercepted by Braden Alsman. Felty was trying to make something happen there, Kaler, and there was just nothing there.
I mean, that was a chaotic couple seconds, but he, in the end, made the right decision. Just get the ball out. Don't make anything bad turn into anything worse.
He was running for 11 seconds there in the backfield. You got to give the offensive line credit, too. I mean, they gave him the time. I mean, 11-second pocket, I mean, that's a long time.
There was nothing open really downfield for him that he felt comfortable with, so.
I'm sure that's probably one of those plays, though, that next time, if you're going to throw it out of bounds,
make sure it's out of bounds.
yes, because that was, I mean, it would have to have been an athletic play by Braden Alsman, but it was close. Felty rolls out to the far side. We have a penalty flag on the play. Felty now is just going to dump it off. It is complete at the first down marker across the 35-yard line, but I believe this one's going to be coming back because of a hold called against Grayson County. It was to Grayson Chaffins, but this one is going to be called against Grayson. They're already marking it off. An illegal shift called against the Cougars.
Illegal shift.
He was coming forward whenever the ball was snapped. I'm going to have to make sure he's running side to side.
That should move the ball back to the 15-yard line.
It'll still be second down, but now 15. Second 15 on the play.
I must have had a mistake on one of my ends. There is, they're putting it at the 18-yard line. I'm not really sure what because the drive started at the 20. Because it was a touch. Well, I guess it went out of bounds. Maybe it didn't end up starting at the 20.
Yeah, I mean, because where the chain started.
Yeah, the chains, I don't know. I've written down 20, but I'm messed up somehow. 1:24 left here in the first half. Grayson County leads 13-7. Felty steps up in the pocket, throws down the seam, and it is incomplete. Intended for Jaron Van Meter. He had him, but the safety Walker came in and made contact right when the ball hit Van Meter's hands. It was a really good play by the safety.
In that situation, he's kind of just playing center field.
And the pass, I mean, it was a good ball by Hunter Felty. I mean, really, everything was exactly what you want. It was just a good play by the defender.
And it's kind of harder whenever that ball's in the hash because that safety doesn't really have to worry about the weak side near as much, and he can kind of lean a little bit more to that strong side, and that play to his advantage.
It'll be third down and long coming up for Grayson of 15. And are you keeping this on the ground? Or are you setting up a screen here?
Something safe.
Trying to make Ohio County probably burn one of those timeouts as well. Felty rolls here to the near side. He's being chased by Reese. Pump fakes. Now he's got space to work across the 20, across the 25. He's up across the 30 near the first down marker. It's all going to depend on the spot. And being shoved out of bounds, and a very late hit comes as an Ohio County player. When Felty was down on the play, came and shoved him as he was down. As that was Bradley Poston, the senior. Kaler, that was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
the play was far and away over, and it was close to a first down for Felty, but now it's an automatic first.
And you'll take that. Clock stops, too. I mean,
that was a weird play because what happened is there was kind of a late hit out of bounds, but probably one that wouldn't have been called.
Yeah, I mean, he was following through. And
as Felty was down after play, you know what it looked like, Kaler? It looked like that happened on the opposite sideline, and a Grayson County player was sticking up for their quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But the Ohio County was sticking up for the player that tackled the quarterback out of bounds.
I don't understand it.
Personal foul on each team, and it offsets. I wonder if Hunter Felty did something as he went to the sideline. I didn't see that. Maybe that would make sense as to why there were retaliation.
He might have said something.
But they call personal foul. You can't get a personal foul with words.
I don't know. I didn't see anything.
What do they say?
We were right here.
Sticks and stones may never hurt you, but words will never hurt me, but I don't know. Weird hearing. 108. Let's just take a deep breath.
It's a first down.
First down, 108 left here in the first half for Grayson County. They lead 13-7. Felty rolls out to the far side. Nice block across that left side. Felty's got space to work. Dives up to about the 35-yard line. And I mean, really on that run, though, for Felty going back to it, it was a really nice play by him. The clock continues to move as he stays in bounds, and that's not what Grayson County wanted, though. As the clock moves with 45 seconds, trips down here to the near side.
You didn't, but you're okay with it at the same time.
Faking the handoff. Felty rolls here to the near side, keeps his eyes down the field. Pump fakes. Now he's going to roll. He's up across the 40-yard line, gets to the 42. Ball comes out. Jalen Walker recovers for Ohio County, and the Eagles are going to have the ball at the 43-yard line.
He was down, but okay.
It was really close, but they are going to say Ohio County football. Jalen Walker recovers the fumble. And the Eagles will have it now with good field position with 33 seconds left here in the first half. And that's not what you wanted, though.
No.
Down or not, you can't cough it up in that situation.
Because you can't leave it up to the officials to judge it.
1 minute, or rather 33 seconds left here in the first half of play. As we approach the halftime marker in the pistol, we'll go the quarterback Phelps. A late substitution comes in for Grayson. Ball comes out now. Ross fumbles it way deep in the backfield. He's able to pick it back up, but he's sacked way back into territory. Back at the 39-yard line, Kaylor. That's going to turn out to be a huge loss in the play of about 18 yards, I think is what the PA announcer said, and I'm going to go with that way back, and I think that'll probably just bring us to the end of the first half. The Eagles, I'm sure, will be more than happy to take this in, as that's not what you wanted. Ross, very lucky to pick that up because that could have really flipped things up. But that officially is the end of the first half of play. It is Ohio County trailing Grayson County 13-7. This is Cougar football on K105.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
Oh, that stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
I was wondering if you guys wanted me. OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
Oh! I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake. And so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it.
You are smart, kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
Cougar football on K105.
Welcome back here to Frank Barnes Stadium, where Grayson County leads this 13-7 at the half. Coming up on our halftime show, we'll run down the scores from around the region, the scoring from this game, and have our Cougar conversations. Kaylor, your Cougar conversation tonight. We're going to run a little cross-country, and there's actually a little bit of an announcement in here that I wasn't aware of, but Peyton Nash, cross-country runner, has announced where he's going to college. We won't say where, but he does announce it there. So that's what you get to look forward to here coming up in just a few moments. But we'll run down some scoring from this game coming up next. This is Cougar football on K105.
Every 3 minutes, a baby is born with a cleft, making it difficult to talk, hear, eat, and even breathe. Many won't receive the treatment they need to thrive. Through training and financial support, Smile Train gives the power of healing back to local communities so they can provide life-changing surgeries and other services at no cost to families. Help us change the world one smile at a time.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
Hi, can I help you?
I just wanted to say thank you. Bye.
Can I help you?
Yeah, just wanted to say thanks.
For what?
For all the money that's been flying out of your drafty windows and doors this winter. It's just so generous of you. So, we wanted to say thanks.
We?
Yeah, the whole neighborhood's here.
Stop throwing your money out the window. Visit us at Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
We know windows and doors.
The builder's choice.
Every day,
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind, and when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
Cougar football on K105.
Welcome back here to Ohio County High School, where Grayson County leads the Eagles of Ohio County 13-7 at the half. And Kaylor, we do, I think, back to that personal foul, it does appear that there was some retaliation based on something that happened from Grayson County. We want to we'll have to find out later. They'll watch the film. In fact, it's reminding me, though, the last time Grayson County played here in Ohio County, you remember what happened there, too?
Yeah, there was a punch thrown.
There was, maybe. And then that player, I think, that threw the punch might have gotten speared. But I didn't see the punch. All I saw was poor player that we won't mention the name, who's not the biggest guy in the world. I just saw him go flying across the field, and that's all I saw, and I didn't know what had happened.
Yeah.
But still, it's something that happens here. But I think with that, though, and I'm sure Brian Jones is saying this, is that this is a rivalry game.
Keep your head.
Smart. You've got to be smart in a game like this because, listen, that penalty very well could have not been offsetting. It could have been on Grayson, and the drive ended up turning into nothing, but it could have been nothing immediately.
Yeah. And, I mean, if we didn't retaliate to begin with, you have 15 yards extra on that run.
And that changes the drive completely. Now, Grayson turned it over anyways, but does that, ifs, we can talk. Yeah. But in games like this, that is incredibly huge because you never really know what could change when one penalty could be the thing. The most disciplined teams, I mean, listen, I'm not just saying this to toot my own horn, but one of the big reasons that my Cincinnati Bengals made the playoffs last year is they were the least penalized team in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge. It's huge that you don't make those little mental mistakes.
You have 11 other guys trying to beat you. You don't want to beat yourself. So, I mean, you need to do everything you can to avoid it.
Exactly. And sometimes, I mean, it makes things a little bit more challenging, especially in the NFL where you never know what roughing the passer is. But even you as a quarterback probably has to go, well,
No, I'll be on the defensive side for that one. I mean,
I was going to say, even you as a quarterback has to admit
that's not roughing the passer.
Neither one was.
No.
Neither one was. Tom Brady or it was Derek Carr. Wasn't he sacked in the other one?
I mean, the ball was out.
Yes. But we won't talk about that anymore because there's not been any roughing the passer calls in this game. Now, the intentional grounding might have not been the greatest call in the world, but you know what?
That's
that
football.
happens. That's the game. You got to try and fight through it. And
the defense held.
They did. And the team that comes through and fights the adversity the most is going to win this football game.
Because I can promise you both teams going to have it. It's just which team handles it better.
Coming up, we are going to jump into our Cougar conversations. We have a great talk with Peyton Nash. You know Peyton, Kaylor?
Yep, he was my 4-8 partner.
Okay, so you know him very well. You, I guess, know where he is committed to Ron College, but we won't give that away. We have a really good conversation. His favorite teacher comes up. I liked, I asked him, what he eats before a race, what he eats after. He dropped it, and then my follow-up question to what he eats after a race, we might have to have a talk with Peyton because I'm not sure I agree with it. So there's your tease as well. We can talk after, get your opinion. Maybe we can talk a little bit more about that. But our Cougar conversation with Peyton Nash comes up next. This is Cougar Football on K105.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind, and when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
Hi, can I help you?
I just wanted to say thank you. Bye.
Can I help you?
Yeah, just wanted to say thanks.
For what?
For all the money that's been flying out of your drafty windows and doors this winter. It's just so generous of you. So, we wanted to say thanks.
We?
Yeah, the whole neighborhood's here.
Stop throwing your money out the window. Visit us at Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
We know windows and doors.
The builder's choice.
Oh, the stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
I was wondering if you guys wanted me. OMG, it's McGruff!
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake. And so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it all.
You are smart kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember,
Welcome back to our halftime show here tonight as we have another edition of our Cougar Conversations today. We're hitting the cross-country course talking to senior Peyton Nash. Peyton, I appreciate you taking the time to join us, and I'm going to first just start with kind of a basic one. How long have you been running cross-country, and what kind of made you want to join in on it?
Yeah, I've been running cross-country since probably, 6th grade, and I saw it at the middle school back-to-school night, and I just decided to try it out. Never been a runner before that.
Now, runners I have more respect for than almost any. I mean, I have respect for all of the sports, but there's something about the running because I only run when being chased. Now, let's go back to the summer. What does a preseason summer workout for you look like getting into cross-country shape?
Yeah, probably just a lot of just running and not a whole lot of real workouts, but, it could be up to 15 miles at one time on the weekends and stuff like that, just long runs.
Now, you're getting closer and closer to getting ready for the region tournament. What is your typical practice look like here after school?
Yeah, so we'll probably do a mile to 2 mile warm-up, and then whatever the workout might be. It could be a tempo run or a speed workout or just a regular run just to kind of recover from our workouts, and then we'll do a cool-down stretch and ice bath, and then that'll be about it.
You won the Fairgrounds Frenzy, I know, a couple of weeks ago, and in the process, you beat the course record, which was held by a Grayson Countyan as well. How special was that?
I mean, it was pretty cool. I kind of wasn't expecting it. I was kind of just going out and hoping to have a good race, and then it worked out well for me.
Now, do you know Brett Crawford at all? Have you contacted him at all? Is he upset with you, or have you had how's that conversation gone?
No, we're good friends. I've talked to him before quite a few times, but no, there's no hard feelings at all.
No hard feelings at all. Now, we were talking before we started this about you've got the regional meet coming up next weekend when this airs. What are some of your goals for that meet, and especially hopefully leading into state?
I just want to go out there and win, really. That's my goal, do as best as I can. I really want the team to win. That's our big goal right now, just working to win.
You are a senior. And that means that coming up here soon, you're going to take the cleats off for the final time as a Grayson County Cougar. What's that going to be like?
It's going to suck, but at the same time, everybody's got to go at some point, and I'm going to run in college, so it's not I guess it's kind of sad, but it's not a big deal.
You are a senior, and you've got a lot of young runners on this team, on both the boys and the girls. What are you teaching them about running that some of the older people taught you as well?
Really, you just got to work for it. You're not going to be any good if you don't try as hard as you can at practice. That's really all I got to say.
Now we're going to jump in here into our speed round. We're going to have some quick questions here. First one, what brand shoes do you run in?
Nike.
No hesitation, definitely even. What's your favorite color?
Red.
What's your favorite food to eat before a race?
Subway sandwich.
What's on it?
Steak and cheese.
What's your favorite food to eat after a race?
Everything, anything. I don't care. Wings, probably.
Wings. Okay, now we gotta ask sauce.
I say teriyaki. I'm kind of weird, but
teriyaki. That's not one I wouldn't have expected that. What's your favorite memory as a Cougar?
Well, it's gonna be winter region next week. That's what it is right now.
That's the answer I like to hear. Who's the best teacher you ever had?
Mr. Helm in 8th grade middle school.
What's the most used emoji on your phone?
Probably the laughing crying emoji.
Now, what's the most used app on your phone?
Probably Instagram. Definitely Instagram.
Now, you mentioned college running? Where are you hoping to go? I don't want this to be your commitment at all, but have you decided on where you're hoping?
Yeah, I'm actually already committed to go to Kent State University in Ohio.
Well, I'd miss that. Congratulations. Kent State is very lucky to have you. Good luck in region. Hopefully it's a long and successful run for you coming up in state. Yeah. That's Peyton Nash. That's been our Cougar Conversation. Our halftime show continues here in just a moment.
Connection. It's the name of the game in Grayson County schools. Connection with students, with colleagues, with community, through relationships, through partnerships, through small daily acts, through high-impact programs at all levels. Connections that teach, that encourage, that build confidence, that show together we can, preparing students for life, equipped with real and real-world skills for success. Together, we are GC.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
Connection. It's the name of the game in Grayson County schools. Connection with students, with colleagues, with community, through relationships, through partnerships, through small daily acts, through high-impact programs at all levels. Connections that teach.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
105.
Grayson County leads Ohio County 13-7 as we get ready to start the second half of play. Running down the scoring really quick, Grayson County struck first a 16-play, 10-minute and 1-second drive that ended in a 1-yard touchdown run by Jaron Van Meter. Hunter Filty then found Waylon Bruce after a fumble by Ohio County. The Cougars led 13-0 with Ohio County only having one snap in the game. The Eagles then scored on a 1-yard touchdown run by Matthew Smith to make it 13-7. Kaler running a little short on the time, but about 30 seconds. What's Grayson County need to do here in this second half to try and pick up the win and clinch the playoff spot?
Well, on defense, you just have to tackle better. I mean, they are straight up running through you and carrying you for 5 to 10 yards after they're getting hit. And on offense, it's kind of complicated, but I'd like to see us throw the ball a little more because they're getting nosy. We've not really thrown the ball much. We're running a lot, kind of keeping the formations compact. And if you can run a play-action shot off that, I really do think you have a chance to hit one big over the top.
Grayson County leads 13-7. We'll come back and have the second half of play after this. This is Cougar Football on K105.
Hi, can I help you?
I just wanted to say thank you. Bye.
Can I help you?
Yeah, just wanted to say thanks.
For what?
For all the money that's been flying out of your drafty windows and doors this winter. It's just so generous of you. So, we wanted to say thanks.
We?
Yeah, the whole neighborhood's here.
Stop throwing your money out the window. Visit us at Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
We know windows and doors.
The builder's choice.
Hi, I'm Janine Lucas with Wilson Muir Bank. Our focus is on building communities, and in many of our markets, agriculture is at heart of those communities. We are proud to partner with local farmers and value your role in Kentucky and globally. Our commitment runs deep because we understand your passion for farming. Many of us are farmers ourselves. Whether farming is your pastime or your livelihood, invite us to your operation or stop by our offices and let us know how Wilson Muir Bank can help you grow. Together we build community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NL.
Stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
I was wondering if you guys wanted me. OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it all.
You are smart, kids.
You're smart. Buy smart.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, your feel better starts here at Midway Pharmacy.
Cougar football on K105.
Welcome back here to Frank Barnes Stadium. Grayson County leads 13-7 as we approach the start to the second half of play. Sam Gormley and Kaylor Decker with you here on the call tonight. Grayson County had the 2 touchdowns on their first 2 drives. 1-yard touchdown run by Jaron Van Meter and a pass from Felty to Bruce on the screen to jump out 13-0. Ohio County then answered with a 1-yard touchdown run about halfway through the second quarter to make it 13-7. Both teams have a turnover early on in this game. Sam Gormley and Kaylor Decker with you here on the call tonight. Football weather out there here in the middle of October here. I mean, it's crisp, a little windy, but nothing like it was earlier in the day where it was really, really windy here. And Grayson County will kick off to start half number 2. And last week, we take you back, same situation, and Brian Jones called the onside kick against Breckenridge County. Thinking the same thing here, Kaylor?
I doubt he does because the defense has struggled a little bit. So I'd say he's going to kick it deep. But then again, if your defense is struggling, you might want to get the ball back quicker. So, I mean, there's 2 ways to look at it.
Also, probably part of it is Ohio County presumably watched film.
Yeah, they're expecting it.
And presumably has a thought of, they might do this.
Look who's over there.
Yeah, they've got some of the hands in there. Is that Matthew Smith out there as well? Yep, he's going to be ready for it along with, Matthew Smith's on the far side. They're not even going to put him back deep to return. Usually you'd put one of your best returners back there. Jacob Reese as well. One of their tight ends is up. And Noah Phelps, who also is a running back, kind of their hands team up there waiting for it. And got to imagine that Ohio County is expecting a potential onside kick here from the senior kicker, Jackson Kane. Grayson County leads 13-7 as we start half number 2 here from Ohio County High School. You've got Grayson Chaffins, who lines up immediately to the near side of, and it is going to be an onside kick, and it's not going to go 10 yards, and Ohio County is going to just fall down on top of it before it even made it to the 10-yard mark. It's going to go 48. Looks like Kane, when he tried the onside kick, just didn't get enough of it.
He barely got the top of the ball, and he did his job. He went and hit somebody right after he kicked it, tried to keep somebody off of it, but ultimately that ball has to get 10 yards before anybody can touch it.
Ohio County will get the ball to start the second half, and their offense running the ball has had success. Grayson County's not had an answer for them, but really it's not necessarily been as much. I mean, and when I say this, I'm not taking away from Ohio County because they've had good runs, but it's been poor tackling on Grayson County's side.
We've been in definitely more positions to tackle them. I mean, there's been a couple plays where they've kind of blocked everything well, and there's been holes, but a lot of the runs have been, they've slipped tackles, and we've just given up more yards than we should have.
First down and 10 from the Grayson County 48-yard line for Ohio County on the first play of this second half. It's a pitch here to the near side to Matthew Smith. He breaks a tackle in the backfield, wrapped up. Mason Carroll in there on the tackle for Grayson as he carries it down to about the 44-yard line. Also in there, you had Hunter Felty coming in downhill to make a play on the ball, and the run for Matthew Smith is going to be called off because there's a penalty on the play. I didn't see the penalty actually thrown. The official must have picked it up pretty quick. And it is called against Ohio County. And Kaylor, when your defense is struggling, that helps.
Yep, sure does. I mean, you're getting another 10 yards for a defense to work with. I mean, it kind of makes those offensive linemen kind of be conscientious of where they're blocking to.
It'll bring up first down and about 20 now for the Eagles of Ohio County as it's moved back now to the Eagles' 42-yard line. Got the I formation for the quarterback, Phelps, who goes under center. Fakes the handoff to Smith. Ball, he just dropped it in the backfield. He's going to pick it up back at the 30-yard line, trying to make something happen, and he's hit and just blown up at the 30. He was trying to reach out and grab it, but Brayden Mudd said, hello, I'll just knock you down instead.
I mean, in that situation as quarterback, just throw it away. You just lost the ball. Just get it off. I don't know, because he had a receiver in the area. I mean, he had every possibility to, but we'll gladly take third and
very long.
Yeah,
It'll be about 33 coming up here it'll be 2nd and 33 coming up here for Ohio County. 13-yard loss on the first career sack for Brayden Mudd. And that was a big sack. Beautiful defense, too. Exactly what Kevin Embry, the defensive coordinator for Grayson County, he probably couldn't have coached it up much better. You got trips to the right side on 2nd down and a country mile coming up here for Ohio County. Ball's placed at their own 29-yard line. It's a pitch to Smith. He tries to get the edge on the outside. I think we have another penalty flag that comes in, and this is going to move it back even further.
I'd say in this situation, decline it. I mean, I don't even know if they got a yard.
He maybe got about 2 across that right side. Well, maybe not even that. Maybe 1. We'll see, I think Brian Jones might just say, let's see how far back we can go. Nope, he is going to decline it. Make it 3rd down and 32. I think we're looking at 3rd down and 32 coming up here for the Eagles of Ohio County. That will be 1 yard. Instead, it would have been 2nd down and about 43.
Yeah, at some point, it's just you're risking them having a huge chunk play.
A 3rd down and very long. Ohio County has it at their own 30-yard line. They need to get it down to the Grayson County 38. 3rd down and long for the Eagles. 10:45 left here in the 3rd quarter. Grayson County on top of Ohio County 13-7. Under center, it's a pitch here to Smith. He is going to look to pass, throws up the middle, and is complete to Walker at the 45-yard line, but nice gang tackle by Grayson County. Grayson Chafin's in there to bring him down at the 45-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. And it is there a penalty flag that comes in?
I think it's an ineligible receiver downfield.
As Matthew Smith, coming into the game, had attempted 10 passes. And we have a penalty, and they're talking to Brian Jones. This is an interesting call here for him as well, because you're almost discussing field position here.
And I think you might want to take this one. They've kind of used their trick play.
An eligible receiver called against Ohio County, and it does appear that they are going to accept this. And, Kaylor, we talked at halftime. Penalties are huge, and you're seeing Ohio County. Look what it's doing.
And they've committed 3 in the first drive, and that they're still on 3rd down.
I mean, 3 penalties in the first 90 seconds of a quarter when you're down by 6 points is huge. And it's going to be back now to the 25-yard line. It's 5 yards back. We're looking at 3rd down and 37.
That's not the easiest one to pick up.
I think if you're Ohio County, just setting up a screen
maybe
for Walker.
Just, run up the middle, maybe hope one of your athletes does something with it.
They have 4 wide receivers down here to the near side. Finally shifting out to the far side is going to be Braden Alsman, the junior. So you've got trips down here to the near side. Matthew Smith, the deep back. They're going to pitch to Smith. He's going to again go to pass, and he's going to let it fly down the near side of the field, and it is intercepted by Grayson County. Mason Carroll came down with it. His knee dropped down, and Mason Carroll comes down with the interception for Grayson County. For the Cougars, that is interception number 10 on the year. They are 2nd in Class 5A. Only South Oldham has more, and Norman Chafin's Grayson County Sheriff will now donate $50 more. That's $500 now up on the season for Chafin's on Mason Carroll's 3rd interception of the year.
I don't get that play call by Ohio County, really. I mean, you just ran the same play right before that. It's not really going to surprise them.
9 minutes and 56 seconds here to play in the 3rd quarter. Grayson County leads 13-6. Officially, the ball will be placed on their own 43-yard line, but good field position for the Cougars. I formation for Grayson. 1 wide receiver on each side of Felty, who is under center. Bruce is the fullback. They're going to give it to Bruce on the dive. Bruce gets 2, but the extra effort moving forward, getting up to about the 47-yard line. Waylon Bruce, a nice run, and I think coming in there was that Tanner Finley, the center, to the extra push.
Yeah, I mean, that's linemen, as soon as they get off their block, they see their running back still up, just push them forward.
5 yards on the run there for Waylon Bruce, and really that was 2 yards, and I think you should give 3 yards to Tanner Finley there.
I mean, because that's really what he did. I mean, Waylon was kind of stood up dead to rights, and Tanner's like, here's another 3 yards for you.
2nd down and 5 coming up for Grayson County. Ball placed in their own 47-yard line from the near hash. I formation for Felty. Wide receiver on each side. Grayson leads 13-6. Felty again to Bruce on the give, right up the middle. And the big back dives across the 50-yard line. And he's going to bring up about 3rd down and short coming up here for Grayson County. As he gets it down to the 49-yard line, that's 3 yards on the run for the senior fullback, Waylon Bruce.
And I think they're going to be okay with doing this the whole way down the field.
Ohio County, this drive could be very similar to that first drive, which is exactly what they did. They had the one pass play, but it went for 2 yards. It's almost a run.
Yeah.
And it was the little dump off to Mason Carroll. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for Grayson. Hunter Felty gets the play call from the third-year head coach Brian Jones and joins his team in the huddle. The senior quarterback trying to lead Grayson County to the victory tonight. Felty under center. Bruce, the offset fullback. Jaron Van Meter, the deep back. As it's going to be kept by Felty across the left side. At the first down marker, he's driven backwards. A penalty flag does come in at the end. At the moment, Felty has the first down, but we'll have to see what the penalty flag comes in, as it was thrown right in the scrum at the first down marker.
Looks like a hold, or just signaling.
It is a signal of a hold. Face mask. Face mask called against Ohio County, and Kaler, there's another penalty called against the Ohio County Eagles that is going to give Grayson County yardage. And really, Kaler, that's been the difference in this game.
Yeah, penalty. If I know it's a hidden stat, so people really don't notice, but penalty yards have been huge this game.
That's going to give Grayson County the ball to the 41-yard line of Ohio County. So it's an extra 5 yards there. So it was the 5-yard face mask instead of the 15. And this is huge here for Grayson because you're moving the ball slow and steady. 8:01 left here in the third quarter. You're up by 6 points. The clock is your best friend, and especially when you're taking these long, sustained drives. Handoff, Van Meter bounces it outside on the left side, and he's met and driven backwards and thrown down like a sack of potatoes on the far side by Matthew Smith.
Yep.
And you're going to have no gain on the play.
I mean, you just kind of have to stay inside on that, wait, be patient. Something's eventually going to open up. He kind of tried to string that out way too early.
2nd and 10 will come up for Grayson. And one thing with Van Meter, he necessarily hasn't had the big runs in this game that he has. I mean, Grayson just hasn't had any big plays in this game.
No,
that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but see how Grayson can do this here on 2nd down and 10. Ball placed in the Ohio County 42-yard line from the far hash. Felty under center. 2 wide receivers to the left side. Faking the handoff to Bruce. It's kept by Felty across the left side. Space to work across the 35. Shoved out of bounds there. He's being brought down, looks like officially down to about the 34-yard line on the run for Felty. Give him about 8 yards on the run, and that'll bring up 3rd down and short for Grayson. Really nice decision there by Felty on the option to keep it himself. 7 minutes left here in the third quarter. Grayson County leads Ohio County 13-7. The Cougars looking to add to their lead here. Felty under center, remaining in the same I formation. Kept again by Felty. He's going to pitch it out to the far side to Van Meter, who's got the first down right at the sticks. He was hitting a late penalty flag, comes in on the far side, and we might have another late hit called against Ohio County.
Couldn't see it from here, so I don't know.
As it was thrown late. Either that or it was a late hold on the outside by Grayson. Brian Jones looks like the coach on the far side is pointing, saying it is on Ohio County. We'll wait and see as the official makes the long trek towards us on the press box. Personal foul, targeting called against Ohio County. And that's going to be 15 more yards for Grayson, and they're going to get the ball now in the red zone. And again, Ohio County, it is mental errors in this game that have allowed Grayson, I mean, here in this second half, it's been huge.
And it's a hidden yard, it's a hidden stat, and people don't really think about it, but it affects field position, it affects drives, it affects time of possession, and in some games it wins it for you.
They give the ball down to the 17-yard line of the Eagles. Grayson County will have it. They get into the red zone. They're 1 of 1 tonight, which brings them on the season to 16 of 20 on opportunities. The I formation for Felty. He again keeps it himself left side, and he's wrapped up across that left side and thrown down late. Brian Jones not happy with somebody on the left side. Felty's going to end up getting, maybe if they're feeling nice, a half a yard.
Yeah, that play just It really didn't look right from the beginning.
Reese was in there on the tackle for Ohio County. Eagles trying to shift some new players on that line, as they kind of did 2 shifts there, probably trying to find something to work here. Bring up 2nd down and 10 for Grayson. 5 minutes, 42 seconds left here in the third quarter. Cougars lead 13-7. I formation for Felty. Mason Carroll shifts from the far side to the near side. He's going to be the lone receiver to this near side. Felty on the give to Bruce, who dives forward. This time he only is going to get about 2 or 3 yards on the dive, down to about the 14 or 15-yard line, depending on the spot. Looks like they'll split in between those yard lines to the 14.5 and give him about a pickup of 3 yards on the run for the senior Waylon Bruce. Third down and about 6 coming up for Grayson. Chaffins and Carroll go to the left side. Same formation in the I for Grayson. And it's going to be kept by Felty. He's got space to work across that left side. He's inside the 10, dives towards the goal line. We wait for the official signal. He's in. Touchdown, Cougars. Hunter Felty, a 14-yard touchdown run, and Grayson County leads 19-7 with 4:47 left in the third. Great blocking across that left side for the run for Felty.
Especially on the perimeter, because once he pulls it, it turns into your receivers blocking, and if they don't block, that play turns kind of dead to rights.
Hunter Felty's first rushing touchdown of the game. And are we going to have a timeout here on the 2-point conversion? A whistle was blown on that far side. Maybe they're asking to reset the play clock, as the play clock still is yet to start for Grayson. And Grayson's going to go for a 2-point conversion. 5 of 8 on 2-point conversions this season. Van Meter leads with 2 of them, of those conversions, as Grayson leads 19-7 at this point. They had the extra blocker in Piggott. It's a pitch, bobbled, fumbled by Van Meter. The ball is still out. Ohio County has it, and they whistled him down. And Kaler, I think Grayson County did get a break there, because that ball was not down, and it was picked up by R.J. Williams, and that could have been 2 points for the Eagles.
It definitely should have been. I mean, that ball was nowhere close to being secured. I don't know what the ref was looking at. I mean, that's 2 questionable calls on fumbles.
4:47 left here in the third quarter. Grayson County leads 19-7. This is Cougar football on K105.
Connection. It's the name of the game in Grayson County schools. Connection with students, with colleagues, with community, through relationships, through partnerships, through small daily acts, through high-impact programs at all levels. Connections that teach, that encourage, that build confidence, that show together we can, preparing students for life, equipped with real and real-world skills for success. Together, we are GC Connected.
Hi, I'm Janine Lucas with Wilson Muir Bank. Our focus is on building communities, and in many of our markets, agriculture is at heart of those communities. We are proud to partner with local farmers and value your role in Kentucky and globally. Our commitment runs deep because we understand your passion for farming. Many of us are farmers ourselves. Whether farming is your pastime or your livelihood, invite us to your operation or stop by our offices and let us know how Wilson Muir Bank can help you grow. Together we build community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS for older.
14-yard touchdown run by Hunter Felty gives Grayson County the 19-7 lead with 4 minutes and 47 seconds left here in the third quarter. And if you're Brian Jones on that sideline, Kaler, you're feeling a little bit better.
You are, but then again, you've been in this situation before, and Ohio County kind of came back a little bit and kind of staggered you, so, I mean, you can't let that happen again.
One of your keys to the game, too, is limit big plays. Ohio County has big play capabilities and started on a punt return on their first drive, and they bobble the return here to the near side, but space to work across the 25. Nice tackle. Jaden Kinney didn't end up making the tackle, but he slowed him down enough.
And if he doesn't get slowed down, he has the speed. He's taking that thing all the way, and luckily there was enough people there to kind of help Jaden.
Ohio County's going to have it placed on their own 27-yard line. 4 minutes and 36 seconds left here in the third quarter. And I think if you're head coach Terry Moeller, for Ohio County. Moeller in his first season with a record of 2-5. He previously was a head coach in the Illinois area. I ended up actually winning a state championship back in 1979. But if you're Terry Moeller, you're probably saying, guys, we're hurting ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And if we stop doing that, I mean, this is the ball game.
If they stop hurting themselves, they've moved the ball pretty well.
Pitch to Smith across the right side. Jackson Kane trying to chase Smith back there, and he's going to try and turn back field, and Kane wasn't able to make the tackle, but the second defender coming in to make it was Will Scott for Grayson County, and that's a big loss for Matthew Smith.
Jackson might have got thrown off by him, but you know what? He still made the play. He kept him inside, kind of forced everything back to the inside, and it might have looked like he got his ankles broke, but at the same time, he did his job, and that was to keep everything back inside.
Loss of 7 yards on the play.
17 from the 20.
And now it'll bring up second down and 17, and I mean, you got to love that. That was a great play by Jackson Kane.
And he didn't make the tackle, but in a way, he let everybody else do.
I mean, Jackson Kane, too, I mean, one of the more impressive, I mean, he is a busy man right now, playing football, soccer, and also in the band. On the give to Smith, left side, he gets up about 2 before being driven backwards. The ball comes out at the end, but the ball was whistled dead. Maybe a pickup of 1 or 2 yards on the run there by Matthew Smith. Looks like they'll officially only give him 1. It'll bring up third down and long for the Eagles. Grayson leads Ohio County 19-7, 3 minutes and 25 seconds left here in the third quarter. Sam Formley and Killer Decker with you here on the call tonight. Really a great night for football. A little windy, a little chilly, but being up here in the press box is kind of nice, Kaylor.
I've always liked it better, a little chilly.
It's better than it when it's 95.
I don't know about that, honestly.
In the pistol, they're going to set up a screen over to the far side. That's a new quarterback into the game, Simmons, and he underthrows the Walker on the far side, and the Eagles are going to be forced to punt.
That was close to being a backwards lateral. And
it was very close. Jalen Walker, the player, as they put in Jake Simmons, who has been their starting quarterback prior to this week. They've really played 3 different players back at quarterback. They put Simmons back there, and he underthrew him. Coming off the bench cold, that's tough for a quarterback.
It is.
And he underthrew the player, and it'll be Brett Hoskins to punt. And last time he was in a similar situation, Kaylor, he lit one boot 42 yards. And Jared Van Meter could do nothing. As he punts this one, standing back at about his own 5-yard line. Grayson almost blocks it, and because of it, it is shanked way out of bounds. It might have been tipped by Grayson. And the Cougars are going to get great field position. The first punt for Brett Hoskins was 42 yards. This one is going to be down at the 23-yard line, officially a 2-yard punt for Brett Hoskins.
Yeah, I'd say that one got a little bit of a fingertip on it.
And if not, the hand did enough
to affect him.
Exactly. A 2-yard punt for Hoskins, and the Cougars are knocking on the door of potentially adding more points here. And I mean, listen, you score here, and you're in the playoffs.
You are. I mean, it's not over till it's over, but you have to start feeling really good about your chances to go.
2:54 left in the third quarter. I mean, it's not over until, as Randy Lee from Western Kentucky University play-by-play says, until they open up the doors and let the ushers in. Under center goes Felty. It's a handoff on the give. Bruce left side. Big gain near the first down marker for Waylon Bruce on the run. What a run for Waylon Bruce. He just kept the legs moving. Looks like he is going to be just about a yard short, only 9 yards on the run, but that was one of Waylon Bruce's better runs of the year.
It is, and that was one of those runs. And Waylon is a bruiser. He's a tough, gritty runner, and he's able to kind of keep those legs moving and fight defenders off.
Second down and 1 coming up here for Grayson County. Ball is in the red zone. Cougars 2 of 2 in the red zone and opportunities here tonight from Hartford. Felty on the give to Van Meter, and Van Meter's met immediately when he grabbed him, as in there on the tackle was number 57, Dakota Blacklock for Ohio County. And that is going to end up being a loss of, looks like about a yard and a half for Van Meter. It's a really good play by Blacklock to break into the backfield and drop Van Meter for a loss of about a yard and a half.
Because Jaren's not the he's not the slowest guy in the world, and as a D lineman, being able to shoot that gap and get penetration, be able to track him down in the backfield, that's hard.
Third down and about 2.5 coming up for Grayson. 1:40 left in the third quarter. Cougars lead 19-7. I formation Felty. Looks to the sideline maybe for a check from the head coach Brian Jones. Grayson Chaffins and Mason Carroll line up to the left side of the line. Kept by Felty across the left side. He's going to give it to Van Meter at the last second, who scurries across the first down marker and out of bounds down to about the 12-yard line. A very late pitch there by Felty, but it gives it to Van Meter to pick up the first down.
And that pitch was necessary because Hunter wasn't going to be able to get the first down himself.
4 yards on the gain.
That little late shovel picked up an extra 2 to 3 yards that they needed.
1:20 left here in the third quarter. Grayson leads 19-7.
3 yard on the play, 1st and 10, Cougar from the 11.
Ball placed in the 11-yard line. Keeler, I'm giving this to Waylon Bruce. He's earned his right to get another touchdown in this game.
You know, I'm okay with giving it to the quarterback.
You might be a little biased.
No, I'm not.
Whistle blown. And we are going to have a timeout taken on the play by Brian Jones. So with that, I want to step aside here and see if I can't find a quick score update or two to bring you. At the end of the third quarter, Owensboro leads Graves County 50-0. That is Grayson County's opponent next week, as the Cougars will welcome in the Red Devils to Litchfield 1 week from tonight. Score updates, other ones to scroll through and see if I can't bring you. Final score in football, Central Hardin defeats Meade County 37-10. Big upset in the Northern Kentucky area I could bring. Highlands defeats Covington Catholic 32-21. Some 5A recognition there as something that hadn't happened in a while. The Bluebirds, which is a good mascot. Bluebirds, they defeat Covington Catholic tonight. I see here that Warren East leads Allen County Scottsville 40-12. That score is at the half. Of course, there is a Grayson County connection to Warren East right now. Former head coach Ed Smart is an assistant on Warren East, so we give them a shout out as well. Trying to scroll through and see if I can't see an update from the Bowling Green-Greenwood game, which does have some interest to Grayson County. The last update that I saw was that Greenwood trailed Bowling Green 21-7 at the half. Another score that I have here, Muhlenberg all over Breckenridge County at the half, 31-7. The game's happening in Greenville tonight, and the score is Bowling Green 21, Greenwood 7 at the half. We can explain more about playoffs after this play. Felty's going to keep it himself up across the 10-yard line, breaks a tackle inside the 5, and he's inside the end zone. Touchdown, Grayson County. Hunter Felty gets his second rushing touchdown of the game, and a Cougar is down after the play.
I told you give the ball to the quarterback, and I might be biased, but
Will Scott is the injured Cougar after the play, but Grayson County leads. Scott being lifted up by his teammates. Hunter Felty goes into the end zone. His second rushing touchdown of the game, 11 yards on the run for Felty.
And there was a flag after the play, too, so I don't know if that was a celebration
thing. We'll wait to see if it's a celebration, if it is after the play, or if it is during the play. We'll wait and see.
That was on them.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, I think, pointing at Grayson County. It is after the play, so it's unsportsmanlike conduct called against Grayson County, and it looks like they're going to put it on the kickoff. So the 11-yard touchdown run by Felty makes it Grayson County 25-7 with 1:12 left in the third quarter. And if you're wearing blue and orange tonight, you're feeling a little bit better.
Yep.
Jackson Kane on to attempt the extra point, 1 of 2 tonight. One was perfect, one was a little low.
A little might be an understatement.
Well, it's open to interpretation, right?
Got blocked.
Low is low. Jaron Van Meter is the holder. It's not a good snap with Will Scott hurt. Van Meter's trying to make something happen, and he's not going to be able to.
Nope.
The new long snapper in the game, I didn't catch who it might have been. Because of that, it was not a good snap. And we're 1:12 left to play in the third quarter. It is Grayson County on top 25-7. This is Cougar football on K105.
Oh.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
Hi, I'm Janine Lucas with Wilson Muir Bank. Our focus is on building communities, and in many of our markets, agriculture is at heart of those communities. We are proud to partner with local farmers and value your role in Kentucky and globally. Our commitment runs deep because we understand your passion for farming. Many of us are farmers ourselves. Whether farming is your pastime or your livelihood, invite us to your operation or stop.
Leads Ohio County 25-7 is the Cougars' lead here with 1:12 left in quarter number 3. Sam Gormley and Kaylor Decker with you tonight. Cougars are going to be kicking this one off from way deep in their own end because of the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
It's kind of penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct.
And so they'll kick this from their 30, I believe, should be where it is.
15 yards only.
Well, so if it's 15, it should be from the 25.
Cougars will be kicking off from the 25-yard line.
25.
PA announcer had to let the official know because I think the official was a little bit confused as to where this ball will go. So the PA announcer made sure to let him know, saying, hey, put it at the 25.
And give me those extra 5 yards.
I talked to him before the game tonight. Very nice guy. We were talking. I came in, and he was looking at my notes, Kaylor, and you probably have learned a little bit about me that that's like my,
Your thing.
That's my thing. Don't touch my notes. And I was a little bit like, hey, who are you? What you doing? He said, I'm the PA guy. I'm just looking at your notes. It's like, okay. Caught, bobbled on the catch, and it's going to roll back at the 15-yard line. And trying to find space to work is R.J. Williams. And a brilliant tackle coming downhill and making it for Grayson County.
It's a little man with a big heart right there.
That was Kenton Cornwell who came down to make the tackle. And the unsportsmanlike conduct turns out to be nothing because Ohio County's going to get the ball at the 20-yard line.
I mean, it's the same as a touchback.
That was a really good play by Kenton Cornwell. Kenton Cornwell listed at 5'3" on the roster. That's probably about accurate.
Yeah, I'd say it's right on the dot.
But he plays like he's 6'7".
He does, and that height can help him sometimes, especially tackling, because he's easily able to get low, kind of wrap up to people's legs.
And I mean, I know he's probably one of the better tacklers on the team too.
He can be. He definitely has the potential to be.
Walker on the run. Late penalty flag comes in, and Kaylor, I think we might have another hold against Ohio County.
Yeah, I think it might be.
It's placed on the 20-yard line, 59 seconds to play in the third quarter. I didn't keep track of the penalties for Ohio County in this quarter, but what are we, about 6?
Block in the back.
Block in the back is the call.
So I'd say you at least at this point have
about 6 penalties in this third quarter probably on Ohio County, and we talked about it in the halftime. That in games that, I mean, this game might not necessarily be a toss-up. Grayson's probably the better team, but still you're on the road. Mm-hmm. That does change things. As it's going to move the ball back now to, looks like the 11-yard line. But in games like this, those little things are huge, and penalty yards is one of them. So tonight I know we're up here with the Cougar coaching staff. We get to share a booth with them, and I know there's being some messages passed along to you, Kaylor. We might, I don't know if I should know or not. To pass. The left-footed is, and he throws up the seam. Almost intercepted. Mason Carroll almost had his second of the game. Simmons, the quarterback, was looking for Ross, and Mason Carroll almost had the interception. And Kaylor, I really like what I just saw. You might have not seen it.
I can't see it. There's a big block.
Waylon Bruce, after the play, went up to Mason Carroll, tapped him on the helmet, gave him a high five, and pretty much said,
keep your head up.
Yeah, you're good. And I mean, listen. In fact, I might even need to write that down to ask Brian Jones about that after the game because, listen, the next ball might come to Mason Carroll and he gets the interception. I think that's a leader.
Yep, it is, and that's a good thing. I mean, he still had the pass breakup. That's still a great play because those are.
That would have been a touchdown if he's not there. Simmons rolls out here to the near side. He's going to have to get it away. He throws it away. He was hit as he threw in the end zone, and that's going to be a safety. Yeah, intentional grounding. There was nobody in the area, and I don't know that it got to the line of scrimmage, Kaylor. So we're going to have a safety called against Grayson, called in favor of Grayson County here. That's going to make it 27-7. They're going to talk it over. Official picks up his penalty flag. No, he's going to wave it off.
There was nobody in the area. Unless he was.
They're going to wave off the safety. That would have been called in favor of Grayson County.
There was nobody there other than the people on the sideline.
And I don't think he got it to the line of scrimmage.
No, he didn't. The line of scrimmage is 12. And that thing crossed closer to the 10.
About the 8 is about what I would have given. But you know what? At this point now, the Grayson County defense let's make another stop. Simmons is the new quarterback of the game. He's in the pistol with Smith behind him. 47 seconds left in the third quarter. Slaps the hands twice. Simmons looks here to the near side. Flings a pass high, intended for Ross on the sideline. It is incomplete. And the Eagles presumably will be forced to punt this away. It'll bring up 4th down and very long for the Eagles. And what has turned out to be a light crowd tonight for Ohio County is becoming even lighter as they're starting to make their way to the exits, an early exit here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, this crowd was not great to begin with. I mean, it's fall break.
It's a chilly night.
Yeah.
Low snap. Hoskins is going to just get it away. What an athletic play by the punter, Brett Hoskins. It's going to turn out to be a pretty good punt as it's down. I mean, Grayson's still going to get great field position, but almost diving in there, almost punted, almost blocking. I didn't see who at the last second almost had a chance at it.
But they dove. They went full scale.
34 seconds to play. Kaylor, I think that they're throwing money at you right now. I'm not really sure what's happening up here in the press box.
I'm trying to get bribed.
You're trying to get bribed?
Yeah,
okay.
they're trying to bribe me.
Well, they should know. I'm very open that I accept bribes. Ball's going to be placed on the Ohio County 39-yard line for Grayson County. They've scored on both of their possessions in this third quarter. They lead 25-7, 34 seconds left here in quarter number 3. I formation. Jackson Kane into the game. He shifts from the right side to the left side of the line. Handoff up the middle to Van Meter. He's got space to work as he crosses the 35-yard line. Gets down to about the 30. Therefore, on the run by Jaron Van Meter. Kaylor, how do you describe that run?
It was a tough and gritty run by Jaron. Wasn't able to get through the line of scrimmage and fight for extra yards.
2nd down and 2 comes up here for Grayson County on the run there by Jaron Van Meter. A gritty run. Jaron Van Meter's a gritty player.
He is.
Or sorry, is it Jaron or Jeremy out there? We'll have to find out after this as it's the end of the third quarter. It's 25-7, Cougs on top. This is Cougar football on K105.
Connection. It's the name of the game in Grayson County schools. Connection with students, with colleagues, with community, through relationships, through partnerships, through small daily acts, through high-impact programs at all levels. Connections that teach, that encourage, that build confidence, that show together we can, preparing students for life, equipped with real and real-world skills for success. Together, we are GC Connected.
Oh, the stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
I was wondering if you guys wanted me. OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it all.
You are smart, kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
It's all Cougars here in this start of the fourth quarter. They lead 25-7. They'll have it here coming up. 2nd down and 1, or about 2 coming up for Grayson. Cougars on top 25-7. It'll be Felty under center on this first play. It's a pitch to Van Meter across the near side. He's got blockers. Big hole across the 30, across the 25, down to about the 21-yard line on the run. Jaron Van Meter carries it for 10 yards and a 1st down Cougars.
Yeah, I saw Waylon being the lead blocker out there, and if I'm a defensive back seeing that come downhill at me, I'm going to be honest, that's a scary sight to see. I'm just going to let him that's a business decision you don't really want to have to make if you're 15 yards back.
Bring up 1st down and 10 for Grayson. Ball's going to be placed on the Ohio County 21-yard line. Cougars, barring a comeback, look to have clinched their spot in the playoffs. And next week they will host Owensboro, who tonight has officially defeated Graves County by a final score of 56-7. I formation for Felty. A give to Bruce up the middle. Bruce bounces it outside, dives inside the 15, down towards the 10-yard line on the run for Waylon Bruce.
It's all in the neck roll. The neck plate.
Give him about 9 yards on the run. And Kaylor, we're still a little early to call it, but I think Waylon Bruce might be the leader for our offensive player of the game, sponsored by Sheriff Norman Chaffins.
I mean, he's done everything. He's been a receiver, been a runner, been a great lead blocker, and
a leader, too. Yeah. We mentioned that play on defense
even
with
though
Mason
it was on
Carroll.
defense, but that transpires over to the offensive side of the ball.
I formation. Bruce is the fullback. Kept by Felty across the near side. He's got Van Meter behind him. Felty goes and steps out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Down to about the 7 on the run there for Felty. He's inside the 10, and we're going to have a goal to go on the first down run there for Hunter Felty. 5 yards on the run. First down and goal coming up for the Cougars. They lead 25-7. Felty looking to add for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the second half. He also has a passing touchdown here tonight. So we have 10 minutes, 15 seconds to go here in tonight's game. You could hear a pin drop
here
at Frank Barnes Stadium.
There's not really home field advantage here right now.
Jackson Kane shifts to the right side of the line. Felty pitches it to Van Meter, who tries to get the edge. Nice block by Mason Carroll. Van Meter takes it, and a penalty flag comes in. It might have been too good of a block by Mason Carroll. Might have gotten outside the shoulder blades just a little bit too much, and I think that might be a hold on Mason Carroll on the right side of the line.
They see a jersey tug, they're going to call it.
He started off really good on that block.
Holding against the Cougars.
It is called holding. Brought some life there to the Ohio County faithful here tonight. Ohio County, maybe an interesting game next week against Breckenridge County, and a game that, they win, they're in the playoffs next week.
Really?
Because that would move them. Muhlenberg County's well up. They've already beat Muhlenberg County. Now, if Breckenridge County would lose, that would make you'd have 3 teams tie at 1 win, and that would go into tiebreaker. Presuming that the results hold that are currently underway, is Muhlenberg well on top of Breckenridge County and Grayson County well in control of this one. Handoff right side, Bruce.
Bruce on the carry.
He carries it across the 10-yard line down to near that original line of scrimmage. This looks like they're officially going to say ball down. What do you say about the 9, Kaler?
9, 8.5.
Bring up second down and goal for Grayson. Placed on about the 8.5-yard line. Cougars on top, 25-7. Cougars were up 13-7 at the half. And, I mean, it was one of those, it's tough to kind of see how you feel about it. But I think Brian Jones probably feels much better with his team's performance, how they've played here in this second half. Felty under center. He takes it from Bruce, runs up to the 5-yard line, met by Jalen Walker down inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line on the run for Hunter Felty. You can give him about 6 yards. And it'll bring up 3rd down and goal from the 3 for Grayson County. Cougars letting that clock roll here as 8:40 to go here tonight. Slowly break the huddle, obviously in no rush at all.
You have clock's your best friend, keep it ticking.
I formation one more time. Carroll and Chaffins go to the right side. Handoff Van Meter, right side towards the goal line, and he is touchdown Grayson County. A late signal on the far side from the official, but Jaron Van Meter carries it in from 3 yards out. Touchdown Cougars. Van Meter's 2nd rushing touchdown of the ball game. And it is Grayson County now on top 31-7. Jackson Kane presumably will trot out to attempt the extra points. Well, no, actually, it looks like Cougars keep the offense out on the field.
All right.
Probably, I didn't see if Will Scott re-entered. You don't have I don't know who the backup long snapper is. Oh, gosh, I'm having flashbacks, Killer. Backup long snappers. I'm worried now. Handoff, right side. And a big hit taken on the right side by Jaron Van Meter, but not before. He gets in for the 2-point conversion. Grayson County leads 33-7 with 8:15 to go here in tonight's game. This is Cougar football on K105.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind, and when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
Hi, I'm Janine Lucas with Wilson Muir Bank. Our focus is on building communities, and in many of our markets, agriculture is at heart of those communities. We are proud to partner with local farmers and value your role in Kentucky and globally. Our commitment runs deep because we understand your passion for farming. Many of us are farmers ourselves. Whether farming is your pastime or your livelihood, invite us to your operation or stop by our offices and let us know how Wilson Muir Bank can help you grow. Together we build community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 4.
15 left here in tonight's game, and Kaler, this has got to feel pretty good if you're Grayson.
Yes, I mean, I don't know if the players are aware of it. I'm sure they are, but you're 8 minutes away from having a place in the playoffs and getting an extra game, especially for the seniors, another chance to put on the uniform.
You're looking at right now, Grayson County will be on the road.
Mm-hmm.
That is official.
Yep.
You can say that the Cougars will be the 3 seed with a win here tonight, and they will be traveling to either Bowling Green or Greenwood. I believe I can officially say South Warren or Greenwood. Mm-hmm. So South Warren and Greenwood play next week, and they will play the winner of that game on the road. That game, though, for South Warren Greenwood is at the Swamp. They're in Greenwood,
that's
which
favored Greenwood.
You never know, and I'm sure that that'll be interesting to watch. For me, if it's at the Swamp, as the kick, short little kick, caught back at about the 20-yard line, trying to curl around here towards the near side is Jalen Walker. He's got space. He's across the 30. He's across the 35. Turns around Jackson Kane, and Jalen Walker's going to have a house call.
Yep.
He's to the 20. He's to the 15. He's to the 10. He's to the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio County. An 80-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Jalen Walker. And that is going to put the Eagles, I mean, you're still
3 possessions.
You're still 20 points down here. But still, for them, that's a boost of energy here. As Jalen Walker breaks that one with 8 minutes to go. Brett Hoskins on to attempt the extra points. Matthew Smith on to attempt it. It's a 20-point game, or rather Matthew Smith is on to hold it. Brett Hoskins, good snap. It's long enough, and he puts it through. Grayson County leads 33-14, 8 minutes to go. This is Cougar football on K105.
Oh, the stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
I was wondering if you guys wanted me. OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it out.
You are smart, kids.
You're smart. Buy smart.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind, and when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember,
Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Cougar football on K105.
Grayson County leads 33-14, 8 minutes to go here in tonight's game. An 80-yard kickoff return for Ohio County does give them some semblance of life here. Got to presume an onside kick here comes for Ohio County because, frankly, what do you have to lose? End of the third quarter, a score update to bring you. Bowling Green leads Greenwood 21-7. That's a game that Grayson County is interested in. Another game that has some interest. Butler County leads Todd County Central 21-13 at the end of the third quarter. The Bears are in the playoffs with a win in that one. And Edmonson County did fall tonight against Greenwood. It's an onside kick, takes a high bounce, and it's picked up by Piggott, I believe, for Grayson County across that far side. He's got space to work, runs over a man, gets to the 50-yard line. Tegan Piggott on the return. Kaylor Decker, how about the hit he just laid on the return?
I mean, that was a borderline stiff arm. He kind of put that forearm in him and extended. I mean, it wasn't Derrick Henry, but there's a little bit in him. He's got 4 years to kind of work on that.
Tegan Piggott on the return. He gets it to the 50-yard line. What a return of about 15 yards for Piggott. And he kind of caught that over his shoulder, too. It wasn't the greatest onside kick, but I think they were kind of hoping to send it into no man's land and try to see if their athletes couldn't have gotten it to it first. And Grayson's going to have it first down and 10 from the 50-yard line. They lead by 19 points. Felty will remain into the game at quarterback. Bruce and Van Meter line up behind him. Handoff Bruce, right side. He spins and is driven backwards after a pickup of about 4 yards. Met in there on the play by Reese, the linebacker, down to the 46-yard line. As we mentioned, next week for Grayson, it's next week. Yeah. As Brian Jones says, and I'm sure he's going to say it, his go-to line, and I'm sure you've heard it plenty of times when you play Owensboro, is two things. One, you get the opportunity to play Owensboro. You don't have to. You get the opportunity to play Owensboro. And the second one is that you get the opportunity to shake up the world.
You do.
There's nobody in the state of Kentucky that believes you all can win next Friday night, let alone probably keep it within a running clock.
And I liked playing against Owensboro because it showed what we could do best.
Handoff Van Meter. He goes across the left side, and he's dropped after a pickup of 1 yard down to the 45-yard line. That'll bring up third down and 5.
And trust me, against Owensboro, if you have a weakness, they're going to find it, and then they're going to expose it. But if it made you feel really good about yourself if you did succeed on certain plays, even a play, like if it worked 10, 12 yards, that was looked at as a great play for us. I mean, it's Owensboro. If you're going against D1 players, it's a great opportunity for those kids.
Yeah, and I mean, you get the opportunity. And listen, you get up and you score first on them, they think the same thing coming in. They think, oh, it's just another day at the office. It's option run, Felty up the middle. He gets to the 40, and he was stuck right there to the 41-yard line. That was a really nice play made by Jalen Walker. Walker's a nice player. And he likes it, too. It'll be 4th down and 1 coming up for Grayson, and it's always one of these tough situations for a head coach because you don't want to feel like you're running it up, but you also don't want to punt it in this situation. And I'm sure that it's probably one of those things that Brian Jones looks across the sideline at Terry Moeller, head coach, and just says,
and
you'd have done the same thing.
He's an experienced coach, too, so he knows in the situation what he would have done.
He'd do the same thing.
Yeah.
And plus, there's a little bit of a rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, that helps.
I formation. Felty goes under center. Ohio County loading up the line, and do we have some movement or a timeout? I think they were trying to hard count. Maybe Brian Jones will attempt a punt here. This series history, though, for Grayson County Cougar, we talked about it in the open. Very competitive. This is the 35th all-time matchup. If the result does hold, which it presumes that it will with 5:34 to go, Grayson County now trails only 18-17. And that is in there as that Ohio County won 10 straight from 1995 to 2005. This will be Grayson County's first 3-game winning streak against the Eagles of Ohio County. You'd have to go all the way back to the 1989 to 1993 stretch. Back when, I mean, we're talking 1993 football, well, the 1992 football season. I mean, some of the players that were in that, people that you might know that were in high school at that time. Superintendent Doug Robinson, PVA Ernie Perkins in there. Because obviously what happened in 1993 with those two.
Wow.
Region basketball title. So it's kind of like in that sweet realm of action. But still, so that kind of puts into perspective as how long it's been since Grayson County has beaten Ohio County in 3 straight years. The 4th down and 1 coming up for Grayson.
I think we're still going for it.
I don't see, Jackson Keene is out there.
He's probably going to line up his tight end to the near side, closest to us. Or it looks like it's going to be tackled.
So here comes, it is going to be 4th down and 1 for Grayson County.
It's a quarterback sneak.
They are setting up multiple players behind Hunter Felty. 4th down and 1. Felty needs to get down to the 40-yard line. It is a QB sneak, and he's got it. He gets to the 39-yard line, 2 yards on the run for Hunter Felty, 5:31 to go. Cougs lead 33-14. You got to feel pretty good here if you're Brian Jones.
I mean, it's to the point where you can almost – it's going to be hard, but you can kind of chew the rest of this clock out this series. You'd have to get to third down almost every time, but it's – if you do 3 yards in the cloud of those football, you're going to have a very good chance to kind of get it down under a minute.
The first down and 10 for Grayson County. Ball placed at the 39-yard line. I formation. A wide receiver on each side. Faking to a handoff there to Van Meter. Gets down to the 35-yard line before being driven backwards on the carry. Give him a run of about 4 yards there for Jaron Van Meter to bring up second down and 6. Under 5 minutes to go here tonight. Grayson County going to clinch the number 3 seed in the KHSA 5A district playoffs. They will play the winner of Bowling Green Greenwood next week on the road. Or, sorry, South Warren Greenwood. One of these 10 times, Kaler, I'm going to get it right.
Yeah, they're all in that same area. It's kind of weird.
They are. Greenwood, though, as I mentioned, that's where I got one of my broadcasting starts. I was the stats guy for their radio crew. Felty keeps it himself. Thought about pitching at the last second to Van Meter. Instead, carries it himself down across the first down marker, down to about the 28, 7 yards in the run for Hunter Felty. 4:13 left to go. They immediately wind the clock.
That'll be another Grayson County first down, 1st and 10, Cougars. County 28.
I really think Hunter probably should have pitched that one because, I mean, in that situation, Hunter can kind of turn into a lead blocker.
And also, you don't want your quarterback taking it, especially in this game where you're up by 19 points.
The game's won, so, I mean, just preserve what you can.
And you've got games, your next 3 games now are against all really good opponents. This is a handoff Bruce as he carries it across the 25-yard line down to about the 22, about 6 yards in the run there for Wheeler Bruce. I mean, you look next week, you've got Owensboro coming up. Owensboro, a really good team. There's no other way to put it. The week after that, you've got Hart County, who's a really good team. I think they've only lost 1 game this entire season.
And I think they're up there for the 5A. No, not 5A, but they're up there in the state for rushing.
3A, I think, is where they are. I mean, they're a really good team. And then the week after that, you're going to be playing Bowling Green or Greenwood. Hey, did it again, Kaler. South Warren or Greenwood. I'm going to have to start, shocking myself or something every time I say it. We're being flash things down here in the press box, Kaler. Pitch to the far side to Van Meter. Van Meter tries to bounce it outside. Nothing there. Penalty flag comes in. And we got some late extracurriculars after the play. Mason Carroll, I think, was thrown down after the play, and he immediately hopped up and started pointing towards Ohio County, kind of saying, I didn't do anything. But I like the officials there. Getting in there, saying, come on, let's stop this. Come on.
Just get the game over with.
And I'm sure both coaches kind of want to say that. The last thing you want is anything.
People
hurt.
Thrown out
ejections.
for the next game.
Exactly. We have hold called against Grayson County. That'll move the Cougars backwards.
Moves the ball back to the 31-yard line. 10 yards from the spot.
As Grayson County is going to move now back to 500 as well in this game, moving to 4-4. You're 3-1 in district play. You've won 3 straight district games, the first time since 2014 as well, which is also really big for this Grayson County program.
And that'll put them positive in the year, no matter what, in district.
It will. Nothing can change that as Bruce carries that one forward for a couple of yards as we approach the 2.5-minute mark of tonight's game. I haven't seen a score from South Warren Christian County, but if South Warren is winning, which presumably they are, then it would be that Greenwood Bowling Green game.
Greenwood
South Warren. I got to right here. Look at this, Kaler. I'm going to write it on my hand. South Warren. What I need to do maybe is put it on a post-it note on your forehead or something. Every time I look, it just says South Warren.
Same county.
It is. It's just the south side. Felty to pass, and he's dropped for a sack on the play. And it'll be 4th down and long now coming up for Grayson, and this is a weird situation here for the Cougars.
I mean, I'm okay with taking the sack in that situation. You don't want to get hurt, but It's not an incompletion, so the clock's still running.
I guess you don't have your Will Scott. I have not seen him back out there.
Yeah.
In fact, I even saw it. I was wondering, you know what Jackson Kane just looked at Brian Jones and said? He immediately looked at him and was putting his right leg out saying, come on, let me kick it. Let me kick it. And I think Brian Jones says, no, we're not letting you kick it from 48 yards.
You got to hurry up. You got 5 seconds.
4 seconds, 3 seconds.
They might try to quick.
And we're going to have either a timeout or a delay game called against Grayson County here.
Timeout.
It is a timeout called for the Cougars. As with that, we'll try to see if we can't find another score update to bring you. Metcalfe County leads Adair County 23-0. That game is in the fourth quarter. Apollo leads Marshall County 48-7. Davis County, I think they're playing Henderson County tonight. I think that's who they're playing. And it is 45-35 in that game. I don't know who's winning. As we mentioned, Owensboro defeated Graves County 56-7, a final score. Todd County has tied it up against Butler County. It's 21-21, 9:26 to play in the fourth quarter. For the Bears, it's win and in. If not, I mean, that district is very, very competitive. Bowling Green leads Greenwood 28-7, 9:18 to play in the fourth quarter of that game. Greene County defeats Edmondson County 38-16. That is a final score. Warren East on top of Allen County, Scottsville 40-20. And I'll try to see if I can't, while we're standing here talking, to see if we can't find a South Warren score to bring you as well. South Warren does defeat Christian County tonight by a final score of 52-14, which does set up for Grayson County that they will play South Warren or Greenwood. Look at me go, Kaler. I did it.
I got it.
Fourth down and long for Grayson. They need to get the ball to about the 16-yard line. Felty to pass. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to be dropped well short. He ends up picking up a couple of yards, but nothing more. It'll be turnover on downs with 1:08 to go. And Ohio County is going to get the football back with 1:08 to go. And the whistle is going to be blown here as they'll start to wind this clock, and this is a good win here for this Grayson County program.
Just shy of the 30-yard line.
Ohio County will have it. First down and 10 from their own 30-yard line. And a whistle is blown, and it's blown from the far side judge. And you got to think maybe some illegal motion there.
Maybe a delay game or legal procedure.
It is. That's going to back them up. And that's been the story in this second half has been penalties for Ohio County.
And those have killed them. They've just shot themselves in the foot. And you have 11 other guys trying to beat you, and then you got yourself beating you at the same time. It's just really hard.
33-14 is the game. To pass, throwing off into the flat. It's incomplete. Intended for Jalen Walker. Just didn't get there. Didn't get enough on it. 1:02 to go.
Second down and 15.
It'll be second down and 15 for the Eagles. For Ohio County, they will hit the road to Hartford next week as they will play at Breckenridge County in a game that if they win, they're in the playoffs. If they lose, things can get interesting. And then they will host Butler County coming up on the 28th of October. So they control their own destiny still, even after tonight. Since Breckenridge County was losing big to Muhlenberg County, barring some last-second change. 1:02 to go, second down and 15. Pitch back, and we're going to have a pass by Smith. He pump fakes once. Now he's just going to let it fly, and he's got a man, and it is complete across the 50-yard line down to the 45 as the pass is complete to Noah Phelps. And Matthew Smith, the way that ball came out, I thought it was going to be intercepted, Kaler, but he ended up finding the wide-open receiver, Noah Phelps.
32 yards on the play.
The clock's still running. I don't know why, but, you know, I'm not going to say anything about it. They never stopped the clock once.
I think the clock operator's ready to go home.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
I know we are, too. What do we got here? It's 9:15. Yeah, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
I got to be up tomorrow morning. I got some college football to call tomorrow, so I've got plenty to do. Pitch back to Smith. He's going to look to pass one more time. He's going to throw it off, and it is again complete down here to the near side. Once more finding Noah Phelps, who breaks a tackle of Stephen Lee. And he gets it down to the 30-yard line. They should stop the clock with 8 seconds, and they do this time. But they'll wind it. Ohio County will get maybe one more play.
Yep. If they call a timeout, I don't even know if they think it's worth it.
If they hurry up, 5, 4, 3, 2. They do get it off. It's a pitch back to Smith. He looks to pass maybe one more time. He's going to throw it up to the end zone, and it is bounced into the air, and it is caught by Ohio County. No, it's intercepted by Grayson County. The Cougars have it. They're going to go up the far side of the field, and the ball continues to move up the far side of the field, continuing to work. Now back here to the near side comes Jaden Kinney. He's still on his feet down to the 50-yard line, and that's going to be the ball game. Jaden Kinney intercepts the last play of the game. That's another interception, and I think, did we have a penalty flag come down after the play there?
Yeah, I think it's a personal foul of some kind.
Which would be an untimed down.
Yep.
Presumably Grayson County will just decline this and say, let's go.
It depends on who it is on, though.
Mason Carroll a little slow to get off, and he spikes his mouthpiece. Hopefully he's okay. And whatever it is, they're not going to call it. They're just going to send both teams off, which I think is the right decision.
Yeah.
Jaden Kinney does get that interception on the last play of the game. Grayson County picks up the win tonight, 33-14. This is Cougar football right here on K105.
Connection. It's the name of the game in Grayson County schools. Connection with students, with colleagues, with community, through relationships, through partnerships, through small daily acts, through high-impact programs at all levels. Connections that teach, that encourage, that build confidence, that show together we can, preparing students for life, equipped with real and real-world skills for success. Together, we are GC Connected.
Oh, that stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
Wondering
so.
if you guys wanted me. OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it all.
You are smart kids. You're smart. Bye.
Connection. It's the name of the game in Grayson County schools. Connection with students, with colleagues, with community, through relationships, through partnerships, through small daily acts, through high-impact programs at all levels. Connections that teach, that encourage, that build confidence, that show together we can, preparing students for life, equipped with real and real-world skills for success. Together, we are GC Connected.
Oh, that stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
Wondering if you
so.
guys wanted me. OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it all.
You are smart kids. You're smart. Bye, smart.
Hi, can I help you?
I just wanted to say thank you. Bye.
Can I help you?
Yeah, just wanted to say thanks.
For what?
For all the money that's been flying out of your drafty windows and doors this winter. It's just so generous of you. So, we wanted to say thanks.
We?
Yeah, the whole neighborhood's here.
Stop throwing your money out the window. Visit us at Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
We know windows and doors.
The builder's choice.
Floodwaters in eastern Kentucky have destroyed homes and businesses, displaced families, devastated communities, and claimed the lives of our fellow Kentuckians. Radio and television stations across the Commonwealth have united as one voice to help our fellow Kentuckians in need. Please consider supporting the Team Eastern Kentucky Flood Relief Fund today. Simply go to kba.org and click the Donate Now button. This message of hope is provided by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
Oh, stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
Wondering
so.
if you guys want any. OMG, it's McGruff!
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it.
You are smart kids. You're smart.
Welcome back here to Frank Barnes Stadium here on the campus of Ohio County High School, where the Grayson County Cougars have picked up a win tonight against the Ohio County Eagles by a final score of 33-14. The Cougars have clinched the number 3 seed in the playoffs. They will play at South Warren. Look at me go there, Kaylor. Or Greenwood coming up here. In fact, I have a stat here from our good friend Roger Lush. Brian Jones now has tied Coach Keith Graham, and GCHS football wins as well with his 13th win as the helm of the Cougar football program. I believe that puts him in either second or third or it puts him in third, I believe, overall in the history of this Grayson, or he might be fourth behind Danny Clark. I'm not sure how many wins Danny Clark ended up coming in, but still, he picks up another win. I know he's making his way over towards us as well right now. Big win tonight for the Cougars. And there's a lot for us to talk about. I know Coach Jones is getting ready to make his way up. He's going to have to find his way into the labyrinth that is this press box. Yeah. But I think overall thoughts, you have to be pretty happy if you're a Cougar fan.
You do. And as Parker Kane told me to tell viewers, as the Montana coach Bob Green, he said in his words, the Cougars went hard like a hobo on a Bob sandwich. I think of myself as a smart man. I don't know what that means.
Wasn't it a ham sandwich?
Or a ham sandwich or something like that. I don't know what that means.
Well, that's what assistant coach Parker Kane wanted you to do. And I know head of film, I don't know what his title is, Cole Snyder, who decided that he wanted to do that instead of working on our crew. Again, we're a little butthurt. He owes you an ice cream now.
He does.
I heard it. Chase Blaine, our director, heard it.
It's on film.
We all heard it. Brian Jones heard it. He's kept behind a couple of players. He's third, too. He's tied now for third in the most wins in Grayson County football history. We'll talk to him next, get his thoughts on the matchup, as this is Cougar football on K105.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
Every 3 minutes, a baby is born with a cleft, making it difficult to talk, hear, eat, and even breathe. Many won't receive the treatment they need to thrive. Through training and financial support, Smile Train gives the power of healing back to local communities so they can provide life-changing surgeries and other services at no cost to families. Help us change the world one smile at a time.
Hi, can I help you?
I just wanted to say thank you. Bye.
Can I help you?
Yeah, just wanted to say thanks.
For what?
For all the money that's been flying out of your drafty windows and doors this winter. It's just so generous of you. So, we wanted to say thanks.
We?
Yeah, the whole neighborhood's here.
Stop throwing your money out the window. Visit us at Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
We know windows and doors.
The builder's choice.
That stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
Wondering if you guys want any. OMG, it's McGruff!
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it.
You are smart kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
Welcome back here to Ohio County High School, where we are now joined by head coach Brian Jones. In fact, I can even say now, tied for the third winningest coach in Cougar football history from our good friend Roger Lush. You're now tied with Keith Graham. So congratulations on that, but I know you're probably more proud of the effort on the field from the team, because most important thing, You're in the playoffs, and you're playing either Bowling Green or – I did it again, Kaylor. South Warren or Greenwood here in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I told him earlier this week and then before the game, this is playoff implications. This guarantees a spot. I think we could probably mathematically still get in with 2 wins, but then you got to depend on other people. And this is, them kind of taking control of the reins and controlling their own destiny and making sure that they get in. And, started the game outstanding. Just a 10-minute drive. I mean, that's
16 plays.
Yeah, that's Cougar football. But and then the forced fumble and turn around and score. Next play from that, and I thought, here we go. And then I felt like we relaxed. We just kind of let off the pedal. We did do some different things, but I felt like self-inflicted. The next 2 drives or possessions ended with no points, and so challenged them at halftime, and they answered the bell. To me, dang near perfect, because we come out, get a stop, march down the field again. I don't know how long that drive was, but it was a nice long eat up the clock drive.
Only 8 plays.
Okay.
Only 8.
And then just
5.5 minutes though.
They did just outstanding in the second half, minus the one hiccup there on kickoff where they take the one to the house, but. Outstanding. Outside of that, I felt like the second half was just superb. And really, I felt like the kids responded well to what we talked about, and it was we're going to get back in the eye because we felt like we did well in that in the first half, and we're going to challenge you to do what we did the first drive, and that's just eat up a little bit of yardage, a little bit of clock, and finish with points, and they did that just absolutely perfect.
Some of your stats here tonight. Grayson County's now won 3 straight district games for the first time since 2014. You've now beaten Ohio County for the first time in 3 straight years since a stretch where you won 5 straight from 1989 to 1993. I mean, both of those stats are huge for your team moving forward, and we won't talk about that team next week because we've still got more to unpack in this one. But I thought that the player that stood out, he only had 1 touchdown, but a couple of things that really stood out was Waylon Bruce. I know we've talked about him. I thought he played unbelievable, but there was also a play on defense that I'm not even sure that you might have seen on the sideline, but when you go back and watch film, Kaylor and I talked about this, it was the play down the field. Mason Carroll had the ball that probably should have been intercepted, and it bounced off his hands.
Mm-hmm.
That happens.
Yeah.
Waylon came from 20 yards over to Mason and, patted him on the helmet and clearly said, you're good. It's not that big of a deal. That's leadership.
I did see him at 20 yards down the field and told him you saw him kind of pat him on the back and, and talking to him. Because Mason was like, you get a little frustrated when you have one go through your hands, another interception. But I talked to him after the touchdown where he makes a really devastating block and Jaron scores. And he gets up, and, you would have thought he scored. His reaction was as if he scored himself, and I told him walking back after the extra point try, I said, excellent block, number 1, but number 2, your reaction after a great block that resulted in somebody else scoring, I said is exactly what we're looking for, what we're talking about selfless play and, doing something impactful for someone else. And I told him, I said, you get better every time you step on the field. And I really, truly believe that this season he has gotten better every single time he stepped on the field. He had some nice, just hard leg churning, tough to bring down, take 2, 3, 4 guys to get him down on the ground runs while we were in the eye there. And, he's become just the ultimate team player. He really has. And I said it in the pregame. I've said it before. This year has kind of been fish out of water for him because he's played on the line on both sides of the ball, and then we bump him back to play linebacker. It's different being a little further away from the ball. It's usually a little bit easier to move towards the ball than it is to move away from the ball. And then, being a lineman and then move him into the backfield to play fullback. And, like I said, he gets better every week. And that's what we're looking for. That's kind of what we're trying to build this program to be about, is guys that get excited for others and are willing to sacrifice themselves for somebody else's success. So, just awesome. He's love the kid. He's just an absolute joy to be around, and couldn't be happier for the successes he's having this season.
Kayler and I talked at the half that one of the keys that we thought in the second half was going to be penalties. There was the kind of weird offsetting penalty that happened down here on the near sideline. That happens, and we were just talking more just like, hey, well, penalties, you can't have them. And that second half, Ohio County had costly penalty after costly penalty. I mean, their first drive, you touched on it, turned out to be, I mean, if you would have accepted their other penalty, it would have been 3rd down and almost 50.
Mm-hmm.
But your team didn't make many of those mistakes again in the second half.
Yeah.
That has to make you incredibly proud because, listen, in those games, especially next week against a really good team, and some of those toss-up games that you could get into later in the year, that's the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I felt like we were pretty disciplined tonight. You know, Hunter got the penalty on the touchdown, you know, a little bit overly excited and not being aware of his surroundings and his celebration. And outside of that, you know, I felt like we played really, really disciplined football as far as penalties go. You know, I felt like there were some opportunities in there for us to maybe react to some things that, you know, I don't like to see on a football field there in the second half. I felt like they were taking some shots at our guys a couple of times, but and we didn't respond. And you saw others go get guys and bring them back to the huddle, and we've talked about that. And so, you know, to see these guys mature and do these things that we talk about is, you know, to me that's almost, not quite, but almost as enjoyable as seeing them win. But because
they are winning when
yeah,
they do that.
absolutely. But to see them grow maturity-wise, and you know, like I said, the number one goal is to make these guys successful men, and you can see each week them becoming men that you know, we will be proud of, the community should be proud of, their families will be proud of, and you know, that is the awesome part of this job.
Kayler?
Yeah. So you touched on about the selflessness, and a lot of people might not know at home. I was a part of a football team. I know what it is, but what does having a team of selfless players do for a culture and the teamwork on the team?
Oh, it makes the job easier, I can tell you that. Number one, when you have guys that are going out of their way for others, it increases the work ethic because it's not about you. It increases the effort on the field because, again, you're putting yourself aside for others. And you always hear about great teams and great programs talk about that kind of culture. You know, and then the wins kind of take care of themselves. And I feel like, you know, since probably, you know, week 2 or 3, somewhere in there, we had some changes happen, and you can see it every week. They're getting that more and more, and you know, that was it just. Hopefully, you know, the young guys are seeing it too. You know, that's the other thing is you get that, and you get those older guys doing that, and the young guys start to learn, hey, this is how we're supposed to do things. You know, there's excitement when those things happen, and of course, it, you know, for lack of a better way of putting it, it's kind of like training, you know, an animal or a young kid to be potty trained or something. You celebrate successes, and so when you see those things and you celebrate it and the coaches get excited about it, you know, the other kids are like, hey, wait a second, I want to feel that too. I want them to be excited about me, and then you get more and more of it. And I think that's you know, you start to get in a program and a team that's kind of taking care of itself, and it's taken less of us having to police things or try to get them to do certain things. They start to do it on their own, and we're seeing that more and more every week. And like I said, the great teams, great programs, that's what they talk about, is that selflessness, playing for something bigger. And I feel like, you know, we're right there. I feel like that this group right now is doing that. It kind of reminds me of, you know, the Mason Miller and Woodcock and those guys. I felt like there was a lot of guys in that group that kind of played that way too. You know, Mason being somebody that you could probably point to on there. You got a 1,100-yard rusher behind you that gets all the notoriety and accolades and name in the paper, and that guy just keeps hammering it in there, and you know, with little to no recognition, but it was for the greater good of the team. And like I said, we got some guys like that on this one.
Waylon Bruce, yeah.
Yeah, Waylon Bruce is that kind of guy. I think Sawyer Drake has really come a long way in his maturity and stuff like that, and I think is one of those guys. Will Scott, Kentucky, Tanner Finley. I think there's a long laundry list of those kind of guys that are team guys, and we've minimized our me guys, and I think you're seeing the results of that, and so we keep building in that direction. I think only way to go is up. And, I'm glad to be a part of it because it is really enjoyable to be a part of and see young men do those types of things. You hear so much, I think, this day and age about, teens aren't that way. Well, by God, we got 40 of them over there that just about every one of them I'd say is that kind of guy. So it's great to be a part of.
Next week, I know Kayla and I were talking, as you like to say, you don't have to play Owensboro. You get the opportunity to play Owensboro. Mm-hmm. Listen, they're a really, really, really good football team, and they have guys up and down that list. I mean, they got 5 or 6 guys that are going to be playing on Saturdays at the highest level of D1 football here very, very soon. Mm-hmm. They're a really good team. But like you've said, I know every year since you've been the head coach, you get the opportunity to shake up the world.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not everybody gets to play those types of teams. Not every athlete gets to challenge them against some of the best. And if you're truly a competitor, an athlete, and you want to know where you stand, and I think if that's who you are, you want to know those things. How good am I?
It's exactly what Kayla was saying.
This is your opportunity to see how good am I. As an offensive lineman, how good am I? Will Scott and Sawyer and those guys up front. You're going to go against great D linemen. You get to test your skills, and it's going to come down to because they're going to be as big as their D linemen. It's not like we're outsized up front. Now our guards are smaller, and our centers even smaller. But those two guys, they're going to get an opportunity to challenge themselves and say, "Hey, what do I got?" And if you're giving your best, and at the end of it, you walk off the field and say, "You know what, Coach, that guy was pretty doggone good. I did the best I could." But there's nothing to be ashamed of. The running back for them. He's a D1 running back. He's 90 carries for 900 yards. I mean, he's as good as they get. Well, we got some skilled guys that are going to get a chance to tackle him in the open field. How good are you? And it's a good test of where you're at. And for our guys that are underclassmen, hey, you'll get to see it and say, that's where I got to get. And I'm not there, so I need to do something to try to get there. Now, everybody's got a different top end, and that guy's top end may be higher than some of our guys, but you got to try to get to what God gave you. You got to try to get to the peak. And to me, that's the ultimate sign of appreciation for your abilities that you've been given is to try to maximize what you have been given and be appreciative of it and try to utilize what you've got and get to be as good as you can be. If you get anywhere less than your peak, you cut corners or you didn't give your best effort, and that's what leads you to some doubt or some regret down the road as you look back and say, man, I wish I would have lifted a little harder or ran a little more or something like that. But if you're giving your best all the time, you'll get to the top of what you got, and there's nothing to be ashamed of with that. And so I think it's our perception. We get to play Owensboro. It's a great opportunity for us and our program, and a great opportunity for our kids. And like you said, I think the great Muhammad Ali was the one to say, you get an opportunity to shake up the world. Because I can tell you right now, if we win that game, and Grayson County has beat Owensboro, it's not like it's never happened. You win that game, it's talked about across the entire state of Kentucky. It's not going to be talked about in Grayson County. It's not going to be talked about in our area, our district, our region. They'll be talking about it over in Hazard and everywhere else. Oh, my God, can you believe Owensboro went down? And the people will say to who? And it'll be Grayson County.
Yeah, they'll be thinking, they lost to Owensboro Catholic, they lost to Apollo.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you really get an opportunity to be talked about for years. Because, in our community and people that are into football and around football, you still hear people talk about the team that went to Owensboro and beat them at their place. And so
2010.
Yeah, I mean, so you're talking 12 years ago, people still talk about that. And I bet there's people in Owensboro still talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably, this week it will come up. Somewhere in Owensboro there'll be people, hey, remember that team came over here and beat us. And so, it's something that creates really a lifetime memory. And that's what we'll emphasize this week to the guys is you get an opportunity to create some memories that you'll tell your kids, you'll tell your grandkids. Hey, I went to Owensboro and I played against this guy that went to such and such college, but this is what I did. Those are the things that I think you've got to really hone in on, focus on. You try to get as many of those memories as you can. And if you're able to string together a bunch of them, it's that lifetime memory that, hey, we won that game. And so I think we're headed in the right direction. I couldn't be more excited for our kids and happier for them to get this win. And like I said, get that opportunity to play Owensboro next week.
Coach, I appreciate it. Congrats on the big win. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. I appreciate
That's
it.
Head Coach Brian Jones. We'll come back, wrap it up after this. This is Cougar Football on K105.
The controller froze again.
Spending less money,
If you guys want any. OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it out.
You are smart, kids.
You're smart. Buy smart.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
That stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
If you guys want any. OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it out.
You are smart, kids.
You're smart. Buy smart.
Mammogram.
Cougar football on K105.
Grayson County picks up the big win tonight against Ohio County by the final score of 33-14. I want to thank Coach Jones for taking the time to talk with us now. Looks like I know he's talking to his wife down there on the sideline. Looks like his daughters are running over right now to congratulate Dad on the big win tonight. But, Kaylor, before we run over the scoring from this game, Sheriff Norman Chaffins has a offensive player of the game where he will give a coin to the winner of the offensive player of the game. And, Kaylor, I think we're both in agreement tonight. Waylon Bruce is our offensive player of the game. I think he is, like Coach Jones has said, he keeps getting better and better and playing really well.
And he's not just – the stats don't do justice to what he does for the team. I mean, he's a lead blocker that springs runs multiple times. He reminds me of Mason Miller. Built a little different, but he does the same thing, especially on offense and defense.
And leadership, too, which you can't necessarily teach.
Yeah, you don't – it has to be intrinsically taught and taught, but it's not going to be from a coach or anybody like that.
Grayson County picks up the win tonight. It started off with that 16-play drive, and I think that was the way to start a game. You go 16 plays, end with a 1-yard touchdown by Jaron Van Meter. Then on the next play, you get the fumble. One more play, and Felty passes to Bruce for a 15-yard touchdown, and Grayson County jumped out to a 13-0 lead. Ohio County, though, ended up having an answer. A 1-yard touchdown run made it 13-7 at the half. But the third quarter, Grayson County came out immediately, laid the punch. Ohio County had a couple of penalties, backed them up. Mason Carroll had an interception. Hunter Felty capped off that drive with a 14-yard touchdown run. They got a punt back that only went 2 yards. Felty took it himself, 11 yards. Jaron Van Meter added a 3-yard touchdown run. Ohio County ended up having a long kickoff return that brings us to our score of 33-14. Grayson County now next week, Kaylor, like Coach Jones says, you win that game next week, you're never forgotten as a Grayson County team. Yeah, you're never forgotten.
Your history.
Your history. Owensboro, listen, if you play that game 1,000 times, Owensboro probably wins 999. I mean, look.
You're being honest.
I'm being honest. And everybody knows. But the biggest thing with that is Owensboro knows.
Oh, yeah. And you don't want to be – Owensboro doesn't want to be that one.
No, they don't want that 1%. And listen, that game next week, as far as playoff goes, it means nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It means nothing. But in a lot of ways, though, it means nothing for Owensboro.
Exactly. But
that you never know what comes in here. I mean, it means a lot more. You get to play with Grayson, they're the 3 seed. It doesn't matter what happens. They could win by 3,000 against Owensboro, or they could lose by 3,000. They're going to be going to either South Warren, look at me go there, or Greenwood next week. That's going to happen.
Yep.
And you get to play with absolutely nothing to lose. And I don't know about you, but I can't wait.
I want to see how the kids respond. I mean, they're either going to step up to it and be like, hey, you know what? I know these kids are good. I know how good they are. These are D1 kids. And I want to see what I'm made of compared to these people. Or they're kind of be like, man, these guys are good. I don't know if I want to play these. And they're going to back away from it. It's going to be a test of who they really are. 2
really quick things before we wrap up tonight. First thing, again, we want to invite you to join us Monday and Tuesday for the 12th District Volleyball Tournament, as Grayson County will be playing Edmondson County in the late game at 7:30. We'll also have the coverage of the Butler County Whitesville Trinity game, and then we'll have the championship game. Hopefully it's the Lady Cougars in it, but if not, we'll still have the championship game right here on K105 Digital Productions if you were listening with that. And then I also want to make sure, and we'll be sure to mention it next week again, happy early birthday to Mr. Spirit. He turns 86 years young on Tuesday. I can't wait to see him again. It's been weird not seeing Kaylor. I know you do, our entire crew. Mr. Spirit, we love you. We know you're locked in and listening right now. We can't wait to see you very, very soon. Hope you enjoy your birthday coming up on Tuesday, and hopefully we get to see you very, very soon. That'll wrap up our coverage, Kaylor. I appreciate you taking the time, as always. That'll wrap up our coverage tonight on a night where Grayson County picks up a 33-14 victory against Ohio County. I want to thank the K105 Digital Productions crew, Alex Cook, Chase Blaine. I'll even give a shout-out to Cole Snyder down there tonight. He was working hard in the crew for football filming. So on a night where Grayson County clinches the playoff spot with a 33-14 win, for my partner, Kaylor Decker, this is Sam Gormley saying so long, everyone.